start the stream up. But yeah, why don't we get a quick recap of last time on Tabula Rasa and the Table Smashers.
Oh, Donnie's recapping. You got the full name. I appreciate it.
That's why I did it. I thought it
So it started off with the battle with the giants. Donnie is attempting to turn more of their heads into kickballs. He gets a little frustrated as Smarty Pants goes ahead and disintegrates one of them, wasting multiple good heads that could have been turned into kickballs by destroying them into another existence. As we continue to battle and start to do well, another set of giants appear, and one of them proceeds to kill Steel from Donnie by finishing off one of the giants that was resurrecting. Donnie starts negotiations with that giant known as Tyron. Donnie refers to him as the Kill Stealer multiple times and thinks of him as that way. They continue to discuss things, but Smarty Pants isn't a fan of Donnie's negotiation and chooses to cast a spell to allow her to jump in and take over the conversation. Oh, freaking Smarty Pants. We continue to discuss on if we should visit their tribe or not, and eventually decide to travel with them to their leader. The giants do provide some additional protections during our travels, making it a safe way to their village. As we're beginning to walk in through the village, Zalia casts a spell, almost causing a diplomatic incident. But we do eventually meet with their chief, Kavaria, and that's kind of a summary.
Chieftain, Chiefess, I'm not sure.
She can be my queen.
Kaivara. Whoop.
And hopefully she does not kill Steel.
Hopefully not.
Why not?
Oh, looks like we just got a Mary. Just
Not
in
in chat.
time. Not in chat, but she just entered the Roll20s. So let's see. It is session 102 of Tabula Rasa. It is currently the 4th of winter at 1:30 p.m. Let me give a moment for
Say the 3rd or the 4th of winter.
it is the 4th according to my calendar.
Okay, at 1:30.
When's Christmas?
I don't know when solstice is. I'll get back to you.
Theo has prepared gifts, and they take a lot of time.
Should be halfway through winter. So how many days are in winter?
There's 90 in each season. I think there's 91 in each season, and winter has 92, I believe, is how I said
Yeah,
it.
we're not even close. It's been winter for like 2 days.
It's still pretty early.
Don't worry,
Well-
we'll get there in about 2.5 years in our time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We just got to do another like settlement session.
Yeah, we gotta do
or
another
4.
a shopping
No,
day.
do another massive shopping episode where we spend 3 weeks in a town.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was kind of fun.
That's
I
how you
think
pass the
everyone-
time.
I think
No,
everyone.
it wasn't great. Don't get me wrong. That was not a criticism.
I think the whole rest of my time in this game was in fall.
Yeah, we spent a lot
Yeah.
of time in fall, and then we zipped through some time. I think
We started in
spent-
summer, right? But it was like right at the very end.
I think
so.
maybe like
yes,
Days of
by
summer.
default.
Trouble at Char is.
Right.
Yeah, by
That's it.
default, it starts at the end of summer. So
Yeah.
I think you spent most of fall playing, and then like there was just a bunch of time spent in the town. But in any case, let's get.
Well, yeah. You want to craft anything, you got to spend 5 weeks downtime.
Yep.
Which I don't necessarily have anything against the downtime. I think it does good at breaking up the. I kind of wish I had done more of it in the beginning. I was just worried the players who I didn't know very well wouldn't like a lot of that stuff. But actually, I've found the more I've run games, I've kind of reverted more to my old style of running games, and people seem to like it. So
Downtime is great. As an artificer, I love that shit.
yeah, and it's just nice to kind of break things up. But anyway, you've been brought before Kaivara. And welcome, Miri.
Thanks.
She is interested to see these humans that are not coming in as food. Tyron speaks to her for a little bit, telling her about your group and that you took on the what were their names?
Everlasting.
The Everlasting Giants, which impresses her, especially the number that you took on.
That was
Uh,
the second batch.
And
Is Zalia's spell up right now, or am I the only one understanding this?
I believe it's up because I think she cast it while I'm walking through town.
Well,
Well, the Mind Link one would have happened whenever we first came in, because
she has to be within 30 feet.
yeah, Donnie and the giant who walked us into town
Did it after
told
we
her
arrived.
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, with her. Remember, the giant who walked us in told her that we were going to do it, and then I did it. That's where we left off,
Yeah.
I think.
That's right.
Ivor was about to chat to her.
Did we talk to her at all, or I'm
No,
not-
we did
Nope.
not really
Okay.
have
We
any
were about
conversation.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember if we had a little conversation, but all right. So she looks to the group and says, "No, excuse me." She says, "What brings you up to the mountain passes, humans?"
I will address her and say, we are Tabula Rasa and the Table Smasher. My name is Ivor Chernin. This is Professor Zalia Havenheart. This is Batha, Donnie, Master Theo Starling, and Beldani. We are, first of all, very grateful that you have allowed us into your camp. That is very generous of you, and we appreciate that effort. To answer your question, the reason that we have come into the mountain range in the first place is because we seek some ruins.
One of her people, one of the giants in there says, "Lots of words from them. I don't know if we should trust these people." And she kind of quiets him and says, "A curious name. Does your group have something against tables? Is there a story behind that?"
Yes. Well, one of us has a thing against tables, and that would be
tables.
tables, doors, chairs. If it can be broken, he loves to break it.
And not all of us talk that much, by the way. Just some of us.
And giant kind of gives you a look. She nods and says, "Well, it's good to meet all of you. You said you're seeking ruins in the mountains. Can you be more specific?"
Certainly. And then I will gesture over at the professor and I'll say, Professor Havenheart is an archaeologist, and we are attending to her interest in these ruins. She has their location depicted on a map here, I think.
Yeah, I'll open up my book and share the copy of the map that I have.
Alright,
I think I gave the actual map to Boulder Bottom, but I have the copy in my book.
That's right. As a quick aside, I remember when we were talking to somebody, it might have been Tyron, but somebody had mentioned that like intimidation was not the game and that
Yes, that was
schmoozing might
Tyron.
go better. Okay. This other giant seemed a little bit put off that I was talking so much. What is Kaibara's? Is she giving off any displeasement or pleasement with the delivery so far?
Give me I guess insight check.
Oh, my favorite.
Batha was ready.
I'm not even in my fucking sheet yet.
Well, for Baith anyway, you don't really get much of a sense that she is happy or upset yet.
Just kind of still making a decision.
Yeah, you feel like she's still kind of sussing all of you out.
Gathering the info.
She's definitely... All the other giants are giving you looks like they might want to just hit you and eat you. She's definitely
Which we
more
expected.
like... Yeah, she's more like kind of... I keep wanting to say sussing, but like...
Assessing.
assessing, yes. Assessing the group. and kind of get an idea.
I have a question about Zalia's spell.
Sure.
Can we control which thoughts go to which members that are linked, or?
Yes. Well, yeah, I believe so. I think you can choose like who you're sending a message to among the linked people, so you don't have to send it to everyone. Just like,
Okay, so then
talking.
I would just let Ivor know what I observed, just real briefly. She hasn't decided yet.
So
We still have a
maybe
chance.
did Ivor maybe think about that to the group, and maybe Betha threw him an answer of what she thinks, something like that.
Well,
Probably not. I was just curious for myself, but she might have also been curious, I guess.
No, yeah, no, that's exactly. It didn't matter whether he was curious. Like that's what I was waiting for, an opportunity to incite her as she was listening to his words.
So she walks over to Zalia and takes a knee, getting down low to try to look at this tiny map that's like as big as her finger.
Oh wait, I can look at the map and touch the wall, and make the map pop up on the wall.
Do you want?
Do you
blow
have
that
to
shit up.
chant? Do you have to
No,
chant?
I can just
cast?
let her
Oh.
know. Hang on, I can make
You're
this.
like
It's
a
artificer
human
ability.
overhead projector.
Yeah, you're gonna,
Yeah,
gonna put it up on the display. All right.
I can straight up just make it pop up as big as she needs on the wall.
So is that what you're doing? I mean, she can see it. She's it just kind of
Yeah.
looks a little funny because Zalia
Making it to where she
tiny.
doesn't have to bend over to like crane her neck or anything like that. But magical tinkering, I can view
maybe a
objects.
little bit of showing off as you magically enhance the map. She is and she looks at the coordinates.
Talking not a lot. They're very useful.
She says, you seek the cursed tower.
I am so intrigued on why you call it the Cursed Tower.
She says the tower you seek is in a valley that is walled off by mountains. It's extremely hard to get to, and it's also the area that the ancient white dragon has made its home.
Ha ha!
Of course it is.
That's two birds with one stone.
Is that the curse, the presence of the dragon, or is there more to it than that?
No, the dragon just happens to be there. It's been called the Cursed Tower because it just seems like calamity falls upon any that journey there, and most who try don't return. If they're
dragons, and Donnie pulls out the tooth.
It's likely because of the dragon and because of other dangers, but no one has attempted to go there in quite a long time. I know of several dwarven expeditions that have gone there, at least into the area, and again, none of them have come back.
Expeditions of scholars?
I don't know. We just observed them from a distance. They were actually fairly well armed, so we didn't want to interfere with what they were doing, but I don't think they succeeded, as they never came back.
Well, how long ago would you say that was?
Oh, the last expedition was decades ago. No one's disturbed the valley for close to a generation, probably, at least of your people.
I will think
Very well.
to the members of my party. I will think to them. One reason for not coming back from a rune master's ruin is the use of the teleport points.
Indeed, that is true.
Y'all would also hear from Theo. The curses are bad things that befall people could probably be leftover security from the rune masters, which an eye's presence might help out with that a lot.
I'm clearly super excited about the fact that no one else has been in there, being no other archaeologists
Same with
treading this
Theo.
way. So
Yeah, Chevreau seems a bit excited as well. But Kaivara would say, luckily for you, I might be able to help you. I might know of a way to get there, besides trying to go directly.
Very well. And what would you ask of us in return? I would not expect a gesture to come for free.
She says, I would ask that you help my tribe. There are things that we need that I don't want to endanger my people to accomplish. And if you truly took on that many of the everlasting ones, it says that you have great fighting talent.
do.
So if you
Indeed.
can do some things for me, I might be able to tell you of a little secret that could help you get to this tower.
I wish I detect thoughts right now.
May I
Does she
insight?
seem? Yeah. Does
Yeah.
she seem genuine in her? I would assume that she is, but I'm curious if she seems genuine in her. Well, I don't know anything. Interest in helping us, or if she's just trying to utilize us.
She seems like she is. I mean, you don't get a good reading either way. You don't get the. At least you don't get the feeling that she's trying to trick you.
Who fucking knows?
Okay.
Yeah. She says, I would also be willing to pay you for your services in addition to the information. She says, my people have raided several old dwarven encampments, and we have gotten a lot of gold that we can't use. We do use it to trade sometimes, although we rarely find anyone we can trade with. So we'd be happy to give some of it to you for your services.
Okay.
What services are you looking for from us?
She says,
You need us to kill.
There are a couple. I'll start with the easiest one. Are you familiar with a creature known as the Remora?
Well, how is
What
that?
will we roll for that?
Maybe.
That would be a nature check.
Hell yeah!
Look
Like,
at Theo
trained
go.
in it, or
Oh,
Uh,
if
So, if you're trained,
Ooh.
Accidentally clicked one on the button twice to ignore the second one, unfortunately.
That's okay, we got
you,
Theo. He's read
uh,
about these, it looks like.
So, is
Wait,
Theo
does-
the only one proficient?
No, I'm proficient as well.
Yeah, I based
Johnny
it
and
as
I got
well,
this.
but, yeah.
Donnie, you actually...
The natural 20, it's the 16 I accidentally clicked on it twice.
So the high roll is the 25,
so-
yeah.
Wait, so Donnie rolled a 16, you said? Or the 24?
16.
16. Alright, so Donnie, you've actually fought one of these before.
Nice.
It did not go well.
Is that in my first existence or my second
Yeah,
existence?
that was in your, like, long, long ago underground.
Before we showed you the light,
So you have read about these, Theo, quite extensively. So you would know everything that's written there.
I have an armor set that's designed around their carapace,
Yeah,
monster hunting style.
Probably. Well, I don't know about that, but you've definitely read about them, and you know that they are fierce and dangerous creatures.
Donnie pulls out the book on him and checks and sees if the battle he had with this thing is recorded in there.
It was dude was putting you up as much as possible, right? Probably wouldn't write about you getting beat by something.
Well, he may not have said I got beat by it.
Well,
Ooh,
so
true.
it was a
There
fight
was a
between
Great battle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fight between you and your clan, your clan and the creature. You lost a lot of people and had to retreat. So the battle might be listed in there, but there's probably not much detail on it. But you couldn't find a good way to defeat this thing back in your old days, because it basically just swallowed people whole.
I would say something at this point. So I battled these things before. Look, it's even in the book, and like they're ice, and it was really tough because I couldn't move as fast as I can move now with these boots, and so with these boots I could kick its ass.
They are pretty much a walking furnace. If you get close to them, they can burn you just by hitting them, I'm pretty sure.
So
And,
Kaivar nods, kind of impressed. She says, yes, apparently you know quite a bit about them. Well,
I know the young ones can be tamed, and that's something I'm interested in.
she says,
That's a no from me.
She says,
No
yes,
zombie ice monsters.
that
Can't be
is-
any worse than little fire fiends sitting on your shoulder.
She says, that is actually what I need from you. There
Oh.
are several nests with eggs in them, and I need these eggs to be secured.
Ma'am, I have a crush on you already. They're great creatures.
She says, yeah, there's Did you
had
say
your
you had a
hello.
crush on her?
Yes. Theo has no tact.
He called her ma'am. I
Uh,
wonder if she likes that or
Ma'am?
not.
It's a southern thing. Everybody's a ma'am.
I know. I know.
Until-
Some people would
Thank-
find it respectful, and other people would be like, "What are you calling me ma'am for?"
The draw usually helps.
Well,
Ma'am?
give me a persuasion check.
Shit, I'm gonna use the inspiration. And
Was the
Flash of
easiest
Genius.
superpower?
Hang on, let me see if I have a Flash of Genius left.
Yeah,
I
you
do.
will-
I'm gonna use a Flash of Genius too to put it up to a 20.
Nice.
All right. So she just kind of looks at you for a moment, maybe gives you a little smile and says, "Well, it's not going to be easy, but I think I have something that can help you. I will need this back later, but for now, you can have it." And she snaps her fingers and looks to one of the giants, who kind of looks confused for a moment, then goes, "Oh," and then he walks to the back and brings out a strange-looking circular piece of cloth. She says, "This is something called a portable hole, which will help you transport the eggs."
Oh, wonderful.
Not
I've
going to
had
mention that we have one.
Yeah.
I've had experience with them in the past.
She says, "You can probably fit several eggs in here. I just will need it back once you return, because I know it's going to be hard since the eggs are, well, close to the size of your people."
So
I don't
you
think
want
can-
the eggs intact or destroyed?
Yes, they're gonna
Yes.
raise them.
We're trying
How-
to exactly as he said. We're trying to
Oh,
raise a
Oh,
batch of
no
them.
wonder he's got a crush on her.
We've been
How many of these eggs do you require?
We'd like at least 2, but each one you can bring, I shall pay you 1,000 gold pieces for beyond the 2. 1,000 gold
No.
pieces each.
I really want to keep one of these. May I? Potentially, if we get more than that, could I leave one with you to be like a co-op taming thing? I would love to learn more about how y'all go about
She
the
says,
process.
"Humans generally cannot tame these. By several months, they are enormous."
Here, we don't have enough resources to carry. You know where we're headed.
Oh no! I want it to stay here and stuff. It's more so trying to make it to where there might be one that I can actually pet without it getting angry.
You would have to be present throughout its childhood for it to imprint on you.
I want to so bad, but I know nobody in the party will let me.
Yes, unfortunately, we've been having issues with the everlasting ones, so we haven't had a chance to get a batch yet, and I don't want to risk my hunters, so this would be extremely helpful to me to get some of these eggs for raising.
Oh, Theo is just thinking about giant blue woman and having a giant pet.
So, does that sound fair to you all?
Well, you mentioned multiple tasks.
Yes. Well, if
I
you
want to
can,
do this one.
if you can accomplish this one, I'll know that you are. Well, no offense, I just don't know how strong you are. So if you can do this, I'll know you'll be up for my other task.
So there will be a chain of tasks that we must perform for you before you give us simple
Well,
information.
There'll be 2 tasks, she says. There's
Okay,
this one and there's one other, and if you can do those both for me, I will tell you a secret that will help you get to the tower.
Okay, very good.
Possibly even avoid the dragon. Well, most likely you'll be able to avoid the dragon using my secret.
Quite honestly, with this group, we'll most likely go through avoiding the dragon at first and see it on the way out and be like, you know what? We're gonna hit it in the face.
One, it's horde.
He's
Well-
joking, obviously.
We've killed a couple dragons so far. And need more materials.
Well, an ancient dragon is quite a bit more powerful than most. Also, it has a whole society of kobolds worshipping it, and they are its guardians. So you'd have to deal with them as well. Like, I believe
else
there's
you can
close
tell me?
to 200 or 300 of them.
Wow.
Is there anything else you can tell us about that tower?
God, I want to become a dragon even more now.
Not just yet. Other than, as I said, I have a possible alternate entrance you can use to get to it.
That would be wonderful, and it's a great experience. Go try and grab some Murmuraz eggs too. I know Donnie's gonna want to smack a parent around.
Yeah. So, 1,000 an egg. You're fine with that?
Sounds good to me personally.
And these are
I think we need to talk about
severely rare, aren't they?
Ah,
And dangerous to collect.
What, Ramirez eggs? Or Remora
Extremely
eggs?
dangerous to collect.
I mean, 1,000 is a pittance, is it not?
Is Betha trying to haggle?
clearly.
Sure, give me a persuasion check.
I think
Betha.
this is a terrible idea for Betha to haggle. But anyway, I do
I agree.
think that 1,000 doesn't go very far with the gear and stuff that people in this party want. So might as well try. Oh.
Oh yeah, most of the things I want to
Did
buy
you,
from this point on are
did you
like
link-
hundreds.
Did you link Raldo to this as well?
Yeah, he's in with us, and so is Chevreau.
Chevreau. And did you link Kaivara, or are you just speaking to her?
We linked her because we don't even know if she speaks common. She didn't say anything to us.
Oh, okay, so
Do you speak common by chance?
she probably would have initially spoke with
You know what? I take that back. We did Boulder Bottom, but not Chevreau. It was just Kaivara and the 6 of us and Boulder Bottom.
Okay.
So Theo's keeping Chevreau in on the loop.
So she probably would initially have spoken in Giant, and once you did your thing, she would now be communicating mentally. But at this point, Raldo would mention we can probably try to bypass the dragon. We do not have to work for her or her tribe. I don't know if I trust her.
Donnie would say something to the effect of this point.
This is just to everyone, but not to her. He didn't say it to her.
Donnie would say to everyone, so, like, I don't have a problem with big guys. I'm a big guy. They're a big girl. They're pretty okay in my book. But getting a really bad monster so that somebody else can make them a pet that's already kind of murdering dwarves and humans and others, that kind of throws things really out of balance. I'm kind of not in favor of that.
Well, with the way they train them and stuff, they don't use them as attack animals. It's more so to defend their
She did say
already established territory.
that she was looking to protect her tribe.
Yes,
And
and
dominate.
She
if this does go well,
she did mention that her people have raided dwarven settlements. She
Yeah.
didn't mention when or what the what the circumstances were, but she mentioned that's where she got a lot of her gold.
she also
Sounds
mentioned
like
that they've
old
tried trading
dwarven
them.
settlements.
Yeah, I got the impression it was ruins that they had raided. I didn't realize it was like more recent.
Did she say? I thought she said.
I just heard old.
She said old dwarven settlements.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's
That's
a little
true.
ambiguous.
So you could have taken that either way. That's true.
Gotcha.
I'll reply to Donnie and say, we know that there has been a truce. Oh my fucking god!
So she kind of sees you all looking back and forth, and probably puts 2 and 2 together that you're discussing things, and she says, "If you need a moment to discuss, I can wait."
They, like I said, they like to talk a lot.
And this is out loud in Giant.
Yeah, I'd say that out loud in Giant.
And she would nod and say, "There's benefits to talking before engaging in fights. I have no problem
Really?
with diplomacy."
Theo points to her, thumbs up, being like, "See, she's a smart woman."
Well, this is in Giant.
Yeah, you don't get any of this.
Donnie and her doing
Nice.
Norse back and forth.
Well, we're talking between ourselves
And
and
you
our
guys are
heads,
talking
so
in your
she's
heads.
kind of just It's only
Donnie's the only one that gets to hear all of the conversations.
Yeah.
Celia, will you hand me my potion to comprehend language, please?
Theo's tired of being out of the loop.
But Theo would be talking to everybody in the Mental League, except for Donnie whenever he starts talking in Giant and stuff, because he doesn't want to, distract him while he's having a conversation about... We don't really get many chances to ingratiate ourselves with giant tribes, they have a lot of crafting methods that other people don't understand, and if we're able to do some things to start building a bridge with these people, it could
You
be
already
very
got your
beneficial.
robot army.
You aren't hearing this.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought
You're
you said
out
you
of.
were saying it to us.
No, he's not
doing
saying it to
this.
you
He
because
said
you
he was
started
doing
talking.
it while you're talking in Giant. He said.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's not doing it towards you because he doesn't want to distract you while you're having another conversation. He's trying to be understanding towards you.
It's all right.
And also,
This is confusing because there's people are
Mind
having
talk is great.
conversations at the same time. But go ahead, continue.
it does benefit in the long run to help these people take a chance and hope this works out well. Oh, and I have voice back now. Theo was trying to talk up the whole we should definitely do this and build up relations with the giants.
What I was going to say is that these giants currently have a truce with the dwarves, and they haven't broken that as far as we know. The only ones who have are the abominations, which is not these people at all. Something to that effect.
And I will add that clearly they need help with the abominations, who are quite out of balance, Tawny.
Once those things are taken care of, you don't think these guys are going to start raiding again?
Not if there's a truce, no. And if they do, then we will have every reason to deal with them.
And now they'll have a whole bunch of really bad monsters.
It'll be a long time before they're properly trained to do anything.
More to the point, I don't think we can afford to alienate them or make enemies up here. This is rather difficult land from everything.
Well, I'm not saying we make enemies. I'm not saying we fight them. I have no problem with them. I'm saying we use the little dude over here who knows how to get there already and just do that. We don't
Do
really
you?
need their help.
Do you know secret way in? I'll say to Boulder Bottom.
Says no. Unfortunately, we would probably have to sneak past the dragon and deal with the kobolds to go directly the way I would do it. But
Exactly.
I agree with the orc. I think we would be fine just parting ways amicably and finding our own way in. But
I would be fine going either way. Donnie, if this is not something that you wish to do, then I also have no wish to do it. I don't
Chevreau
see
is just standing there awkwardly as you're all looking back and forth.
It's just like, was a
Maybe-
nice,
Theo
was
is
a
taking
nice
time
yurt. It's a really big yurt.
This row and keep him in on the loop.
This is a nice yurt. He pulls out a bottle of wine and starts pouring a glass for himself. Oh.
What did you say there, Theo?
Theo would be taking time to try and talk to Shiro, keep him in on the loop,
Oh,
Like-
okay.
come up with what's
I'm
going
in
on.
favor of anything that would help us to access this material better and perhaps increase our knowledge of the area.
Chevreau, if you're talking to him in common, he would say, "Well, I can, as Theo has said, I can see value in helping these giants. I would as well be interested in how a smith and all their crafting techniques.
Imagine if we got one to join the guild.
It is not often that one has a chance to speak with giants without being flattened."
Frenchman knows.
Actually, that's a rather good point. Perhaps we can avoid bloodshed in the future, specifically as a result of working together. If we show them that we are a friend, maybe they will have no reason to raid.
Ingratiating yourself to the giants doesn't really have a downside.
Unless, as Donnie said, we end up giving them exactly what they need to do what they want to do, and they choose to do bad things with them, but that is something that we cannot control.
Perhaps you could ask them.
And you also don't know what the next thing they're going to ask us to do, too. So we might do all of this work, get them all of their monsters, and then find out that their next thing they want us to do is really, really, really bad.
Actually,
Perhaps
that's a
you could
good
ask
question.
them that as well.
I agree. It
Well,
might
she
require
has already
some-
said it's going to be harder than this one. This is the test to see if we're going to be able to handle the bigger
I don't-
test.
I don't
Perhaps
think
this
we're-
is something that we can push.
We agreed
to
to a
see what it is.
reward for. We agreed to the reward for bringing back these eggs. We haven't yet agreed to what the reward. Oh no, I guess we have. It's the information. I was just going to say, if we don't like the second item, we don't necessarily have to go through with it.
A
Yeah,
look
but I
of
think that's exactly
Ivor.
what Donnie is saying. I think is that if we do all of this before she tells us what the second thing is, and then we choose not to do it, then we have given them Remora's eggs for no reason.
Well, for money, you would have been paid still.
There's money, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
perhaps try to ascertain that they will not be using these against anyone but the abominations on the one hand, and also to get them to tell us what the other task is on the other.
Well, like I said before, that Remoraz's trained ones aren't for using against people. They're a defensive thing. You train them to have a territory, and they don't leave that territory.
Well, yes, of
ever.
course, Theo. You and I know that, but Donnie doesn't seem sure of it. Perhaps Ivor could just.
I'm not even sure of that.
I think
They
it's Remora's.
Fiends. Well, not fiends actually. They're whatever they are.
Monstrosity.
Yeah,
They're monstrosity. They're just big giant beasts.
correct.
we
You can
could-
train them. If you can train them to do one thing, you can train them to do another. I'm sure.
But are they natural?
Uh,
Are monstrosities natural?
Yeah, they're not aberrations.
Technically, well, monstrosities. I think technically are.
They're like uber beasts.
They're not.
They're like beasts
Yeah.
that are like on, like
Direwolf.
they're not like aberrations are generally magically like created things a lot of the times, whereas
Monstrosities are just
like,
naturally occurring fucking things.
Yeah, they're like a
Okay.
monster hunter, like the big things that just kind of occur in nature, but they are natural.
Well, in that case, I'd rather get these
Believe.
eggs without necessarily slaying the parents.
I can make some pretty nice things out of their materials.
Oh,
Well, we're barging
We'll see
into
if
their
we
home
can-
and taking their children, and they're just, doing their thing.
that's also a good point. What are the ethics of cradle robbing? If it's alright with you all, I'd like to ask Kaivara 2 questions, and that would be the ones that the professor mentioned. First, what their intentions with these eggs are, to be explicit. And second,
So wait,
What-
sorry, what are you saying to her? Are you talking to her now?
She's
Not yet.
looking at the
Oh, okay,
nuts.
gotcha.
yep, I'm making sure that they're okay with the questions that I want to ask. And 2, what specifically the nature of the second task is. And I'll explain that it does not make sense for us to agree to do one unless we are of a mind to do the other. Is that agreeable?
She's gonna tell you what you want, but I'm okay with asking.
Yes.
I will nod.
Very well. Then I will communicate to the group and to Kaivara and ask. We are admittedly a bit on the fence. There's a lot of things to weigh here. The first question that I have for you with respect to these eggs that you hope to acquire is what specifically you intend to do with them once you've trained them. They are, after all, very powerful creatures, and the history between not just your giants, but all giants and some of the other races is not necessarily peaceful. So we understand that there is currently a truce between the frost giants and the people of what is it, Dvorak? Yeah,
Dvorak, yeah.
Dvorak, yeah. And we would like to confirm that that truce is not intended to be broken with these new creatures.
No, and quite the contrary. My tasks will also help the people of Dvorak if you help me complete them.
Does she seem genuine when she says this?
Well, first, give me. So, what did you ask her exactly? What she's going to use the?
Oh, that is not the check I meant to make. What specifically she meant to use the eggs for?
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Do I have stuff? I do have stuff. I have 2 stuff. I will use 1 stuff.
All right. So, the Remoras are useful companions for the hunt. We use them to help us catch prey. We use them to help us in defense. Generally, they live nearby or within our camps because they can tunnel under the ground, making them ideal for sneak attacking any unwelcomed visitors. So we use them for defense, we use them for hunting.
Alright, do you already have some of these Remorases?
We have 2 left from an old hunt we did a long time ago. Several of the others were killed by the Everlasting One's attacks on us, as well as the Fire Giant attacks on us. Yeah, pretty much.
Theo tries to explain these are dogs to these people. We're trying to help them get a
Very
batch of
dangerous, nasty worm dogs.
Well, yeah, but these are ice giants, so what they view as dog potential is a lot different from most our size, except for Theo, because he's definitely also viewing these as big dog.
Yeah. But these eggs would help us get more and reinforce our camp to make it more defensible for us.
Do they
give me
use them as mounts? Because they're huge, right? So they would be able to ride them?
Well,
No.
first of all, no. Well, they slither. They don't. They're like
Okay.
worms. But give
They
me
do have like a medium-sized creature. You could probably ride one, but giants are fucking like 20, 25 feet
Theo
tall.
could ride one.
Oh, I thought the giants were.
well, they're not fleas. I
were
mean,
large.
these.
Okay.
No, I'm meaning
Remora-
dogs to giants, like
Oh yeah.
them
Yeah.
trying to raise dogs. It'd be like trying to raise a bunch of fleas.
Or like rats. Like they'd
Yeah.
be like tiny rats.
Yeah.
But give me a insight check on what you just said.
Yeah.
That sounds
Story
good
of my
too.
life. Yep.
Basically.
Then I'll say very well. The second question that we have pertains to this second task that you had in mind. I know that we had already inquired about it a little bit, and I'm sure you have reasons to be as reticent as you are, but in terms of what we hope to accomplish, it may not make sense for us to do one if we don't intend to do the other, as time is always a consideration. So if you wouldn't mind, we would be very much in your debt to just know what this other thing that you have in mind is.
Give me another persuasion.
I will use my other thing. No more things. It's been a long time since I haven't had any things.
Okay. She maybe hesitates a little and then just says, "All right, I would need your help in an attack on the Everlasting Ones and the Trolls to weaken their numbers." Which it seems like you've already been fighting them quite a bit, so it should be, while harder than fighting the Remora, I think you could probably handle it.
And this is in the group chat that she says this.
Yeah, to all of you.
Presumably.
Okay.
And
Uh,
helping deal with the Everlasting Ones does help out with them attacking the lumber camps and stuff.
Yeah.
So then, as she says this, I'll turn to Donnie and I'll say, taking out these Everlasting Ones, I think would be a little bit in balance. And we already know that we're not friends with them. It will give you an opportunity to make more kickballs.
Really have a problem.
The
with
giants'
taking out-
heads are like the size of Donnie. They're not kickballs.
He's like trying to kick boulders.
Yeah, it's like trying to kick a huge rock.
You don't think Donnie would
Like a car.
like? He's a strong dude. Raging.
Sure, but I mean, it doesn't mean a head is.
It's
a
like the
huge head's
Indiana
gonna
Jones
make a
boulder.
good boulder.
Also have
Good-
I also have what is it? It's I never get to use powerful build.
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
It's
Yeah.
like the Indiana Jones boulder, but Donnie can handle it.
He's like, wait, I got it.
Okay, so in the heads of just our group, I would mention back to the bit about the Remoras. She does, I think, have more to say if we want to press that issue. And just even if she doesn't tell us all her plans, we need some guarantee that she doesn't plan to break the truce with her neighbors.
Bonnie would say, I actually think taking out the possessed ones isn't a bad idea, but I'm not necessarily in favor of doing both. I really think we maybe negotiate for just taking out the possessed ones and tell her that like dealing with the doggies are kind of her own problem, because I think we make her too powerful, we're going to regret that later.
I'm 100% for helping with both tasks.
I'm actually okay with Donnie's plan if we can convince her, because she said it was the harder task anyway, so it's likely the one she wants us for more. And
Donnie's
because
too scared of the
Beta,
Remoraz.
I don't think
Beta
he's scared of it
also
necessarily.
You don't know
Beta-
shit. You don't know that.
Beta,
He got a hold of the book too.
Like
You don't have a
It's
copy
not-
of the book.
Zalia got 2 copies.
Yes, Zalia has one. I
You
have
don't
one.
think she's
You have
handed
nothing.
one to me
We're all
yet?
just arguing in your brains.
Beta is not a fan of just barging
I
in
assume
on
the
natural
argument is
beats.
you're not telling Kaibara this argument. This is more just you.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
yeah, the
behind
bickery parts of it
bickering.
at least.
Very well. I actually also think that Donnie's plan makes a lot of sense. On the one hand, we don't have to bother ourselves with the ethical dilemma of cradle robbing monster eggs, and on the other hand, we also don't have to deal with the issue of making her more powerful than we want her to be. And on the other hand, if we do this second thing for her, it will eliminate much of the constraints that she's currently dealing with these everlasting ones, which will in effect also make it easier for them to deal with the Remora's problem if they choose to do so, but it allows us to have no involvement in it.
Yeah,
So
so
I-
dealing with the other everlasting ones was something we were more or less on
Wanting
the
to
track
do.
doing. I don't know if we would have completely wiped them out, but we were certainly doing so already, and when possible. So
Indeed. Well then, perhaps, if it's alright with you, I try to finesse the conversation to just doing that one thing. Is there anybody who does not want to do this second task for them?
You said other hand, other. How many hands do you have, Ivor?
Wouldn't you like to know? Very well.
Boulder
Is his
Bottom
little
also
beastie,
agrees.
is his little beastie still around?
Who?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Well, I would assume so. Is Tinder
Ember.
in the vicinity? Is Donnie aware of his
He did
presence?
not come into the tent with you all. He's somewhere outside.
So he has been around during this journey, right?
Yeah. No, you've especially I think Donnie. You would
Yeah.
have noticed.
Yeah,
his
Donnie's
little
been
blind sense.
vigilant about that.
So you've seen him from time to time. And yeah, Boulder Bottom would agree. If we can just do one of the tasks, he would feel more comfortable. Though he is also for just going and not being involved in this.
Very well. I will turn to Kaibara and I will say, we have sort of a counter proposition, and that is that we would be willing to help you with the second and more important task immediately if that is something that you are amenable to. The reasons which we think this makes a lot of sense is it allows us to mitigate the time constraints on doing both of these things. It also helps you deal with the first task, because if you have less everlasting ones to deal with, you are able to deal with the Remora's egg situation on your own. It also allows
Are you
us...
under time constraints? She asks.
We are always under time constraints. We are a busy bunch, and we have things that may require our attention elsewhere ere long.
Really complicated. I don't really understand it, but there's like this Dark Lord on another plane. He's going to destroy all of existence if we don't go figure that shit out.
And that is unfortunately not a joke.
Trust me. They try to explain it to you. It's just confusing. Don't even bother.
I see.
Any rate,
So you propose to only help me with the second task and not with the Remora eggs?
I'm afraid we have among us a priestess of sorts who, and I'll nod to Beta, who takes some umbrage against separating a parent from its child.
I also...
So although we wish to aid you, we have some moral qualms.
Well, the Remora is a monstrous creature that is extremely dangerous to your people, more so than mine. It is also a beast of the land. It's not like a living, or it's not like an intelligent creature who you'd be stealing a child from. I mean, sometimes Remora eat their young if they do not have enough food for them. They're fairly vicious creatures.
Perhaps you are right, but I think that the crux of the issue is that in this, as you said, it is just simply a beast of the land. It would be very akin to taking a deer from its mother or some such, except that deer are not killers, but it is just doing what is natural to it, I think, and that is where the conundrum lies.
Give me a persuasion or a deception.
You have holy types within your ranks who can sometimes give you, and I'm gonna
Theo's just rolling his eyes
give
at
you
all this.
a little bit of trouble over their religious objections.
Do I have my backup button?
It's been easy enough for me to just help y'all kill stuff when we've been fighting undead and fiends and.
Actually, this seems pretty
Yeah, I
important.
guess grabbing these and using them as pets and stuff would be like taking a turtle from its home and using it, or some other animal. Theo's salty and being very open.
Artist choice. I did not ask her to accompany me.
Alright, well, she would say...
She's also an adult. She's older than anyone in this group.
Probably by a lot.
Well,
I don't know, Beldani,
if you count his
Yeah.
time travel.
Yeah, true,
Yeah, that's
true.
true. Also, Beldani could be old. He's an elf. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, also true.
So she's definitely disappointed at this response. She doesn't seem angry, more like she's thinking about something. She says, what if I were to make it more worth your time to help me do this, to help me gather these eggs from the remora?
I don't think it's a question of time. Rather more if you could provide us with a compelling moral argument for why it's necessary.
She says, this isn't necessary, strictly speaking. It's just these creatures could help me in the event that I have to deal with issues of security later for my people. I've never heard the argument that a Miraza's young should be respected, or a remora. It's just an odd thing to be worried about, in my opinion. Though
I agree.
That is certainly a fair opinion to have. We all must have our own opinions.
So there's no way I could convince you to help me with this.
I do not believe so. As
Not
we've
like
said,
we're
it's not so much a matter of compensation as it is a matter of our perception of morality.
Give me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Kind of wish I had saved my shit for that if I knew there was going to be another.
She seemed to not like that answer. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. I mean, that's still something.
It was a smelly answer.
She kind of sighs and says, alright, if it is really that displeasing to you, then I suppose I could just handle that myself.
We appreciate your willingness to compensate. Or to, that's not the word.
Compromise.
Compromise, yes, that's the word.
I need some time to think about how we're going to do this attack. I thought I'd have some time as you were working on this other task, but if you're not going to do that, I might just need a day to look at my current resources and see how we might plan this. You're welcome to stay in the village for now. Or if you wish to look around the mountainous area or explore, whatever you wish. But you are friends to the tribe for the time being. I must take my leave. Good day to you all.
Thank you for your hospitality.
She nods. So the giants kind of escort you all out. I assume you're going to leave.
On our way out, I
out
would
of
ask.
the big tent. I mean,
Yeah.
As we're walking out, I would ask Tyrion, the giant we had met at first.
So what do you guys do to drink and do sport around here?
we have rock throwing competitions. Though I don't think you would be very good at that.
Ooh.
I'll throw your rocks. You want to arm wrestle?
Oh yeah, you got to find that one guy who wanted to wrestle with you.
Because my hands as big as your body. How would we arm wrestle?
You use your pinky, I'll use my body, and I'll beat you.
I guess that's a possibility. My pinky is still pretty large compared to you.
Are they really that big? How big are they?
They're like 20
Giants?
feet.
I mean, Donnie's 9, so that's almost
I mean,
half.
so his hand's probably maybe not like
Yeah.
your whole pinky, but his hand is probably the length of your arm. Well, yeah. So pinky,
No, well-
honestly, it might be.
No, look at your hand. It's not. I am half their size, so look at your hand.
Well-
It's double that size.
Yeah, I'm
You
saying
have
if their
5-year-old.
hand if their hand was twice as big
Yeah,
as your
think
hand
about
was,
arm wrestling like
I mean-
a 5-year-old, exactly.
yeah, your pinky is half the size of. I mean,
No, it'd
the
be like
pinky is
arm
the size of your
wrestling a
palm.
12-year-old. Again, they're half of my size, or they're double my size. So that's like yeah.
They're you're like a little bit over a third of their size. Because you're 9, they're like the third would be like 7-ish. So you're pretty small compared to them. I mean, you could still arm wrestle them, but it's.
I mean, still, even if if your head came up to their waist, they would. I mean, 7-year-old, 12-year-old, I'm still fucking arm wrestling the shit out of somebody whose head
Yeah, I'm
comes up
not
to my
saying
waist.
I have an advantage here. I'm saying I can do it. It's not out. It's not so out of. It's not me wrestling their pinky. Was my point.
Daddy,
It's like,
daddy, up.
Peace.
But yeah, he says we can. If you really want to arm wrestle, we can arm wrestle. It just seems like a bit of a disadvantage for you. But yeah, there's definitely drink. If you want to go, if you all want to drink, there's a tent over there where the brewing happens. I can show you.
Donnie, would you like to new friends bubble? I can give you a little oomph spell if you'd like.
I think that's kind of
Performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Betha, but I win on my own merit.
Okay. You're allowed to.
No
I just thought
steroids.
maybe you'd have more fun playing with, I don't know, the kids your size.
Alright, so are you all
I was gonna
gonna
do enlarge. I was gonna do enlarge, not enhance ability, but
Before we leave, when it's
Yeah,
just
but that's the
us,
same thing. It's casting a spell to make
right,
me
right.
better than I am, which that like Donnie's whole
Yeah,
point is that he's he's good.
understood.
whether we are wrestled or not, it seems as if we are to settle here for at least the day. Is that correct? So perhaps I should make the dome to the side of their camp.
yeah, she didn't say exactly how long she needed, but she just said she was gonna plan.
Right.
May I, before either before the link expires or before Donnie wanders off, may I get someone either ask through the link or ask Donnie to ask for me if there's anyone in the camp in need of medical attention that I might be able to assist?
Medical?
Any illnesses or wounds?
You asking Tyron?
If the link is still available, I would ask whatever giant was still around that I could ask. If not, then I think I need Donnie to translate it for me.
Yeah, I think the only one who was in the link was Kaivara, and she pieced out already.
Okay, so whatever wording Donnie would use to make this offer, Betha is making the offer.
Donnie would be honest in the way he conveys it. I mean,
Oh no, I didn't think you'd be dishonest. I just think you'd simplify.
Are you guys fucked up? Do you need this little lady to help you?
something like that.
Yeah.
He's a good giant. He's he's good. He's fluent. He's speaking in their phraseology.
Oh wait, one of the giants.
So Tyron would say,
Oh, gotcha.
our
Yeah.
people are fairly hardy. We are resistant to a lot of the diseases that some of the smaller folks suffer, but if I hear that someone needs help, I can let you know.
I'd be happy to help. All right,
As
I'll
far
just
as
stick with Zalia then.
As far as I know, none of our people are ailing from any sicknesses. But I can ask around.
Very good. Thank you, Donnie, for translating.
Anytime.
I'd be more than happy to go and make the dome. Could use a bit of a rest myself, to be honest. But do you think that someone could keep
Tyron, when you say the dome, Tyron asks, do you all need a place of residence? I could ask her, or I could ask Kaivara to use one of our tents.
That'd be really nice. Though I kind of like sleeping outside.
They might be a lot more spacious than Zalia's tent, actually.
It's really kind of nice outside here.
Not as
I
warm,
understand
though.
why you're leaving here.
Zalia's tent would be a lot warmer, which I don't know if Donnie cares about as much. He's all about the
Honestly,
cold.
we could always do
He
her
does
tent
not.
inside the lodging that they give us.
That's
Because
true.
otherwise, they're going to see her casting in their camp anyway, so...
Alright, well, he would go back inside, then come out and say, yes, Kaivara offers one of our tents, so he'll lead you to, like, kind of a side area where a tent is set up that they usually reserve for visitors. It's pretty big.
Nice.
It's like the size of a house, easily. Like, bigger than a normal house, although it's very open, because, obviously it would just be meant for a giant.
Visitor giants. Yeah.
So
Someone going
he leaves you for now and lets you get settled.
Is Donnie staying with us, or is he headed off somewhere else?
I would be there, but I would just be sleeping outside.
Just right outside.
Oh, I thought you
Like-
were going to go
It's
arm
like
wrestle
3
or
in the
something.
afternoon, so...
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's still pretty early. It's like afternoon.
He's having a nappy poo.
yeah, no, I'd go to the bar to drink and arm wrestle.
Alright, so
Hell yeah.
you go to the fermentation
I'm up on a
tent.
giant stool.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. All the counters in here are gonna be
I
fucking
love
massive.
it.
Like the hobbits in the...
Yes.
Like a tiny hobbit.
Excuse me, sir.
smaller.
You watch it. I'm rolling natural 20 with this bitch.
They're gonna serve us ales that are like fucking 64 ounces. We're like, Jesus Christ.
It's like a little swimming pool.
Yeah.
Alright. So, perhaps someone could go with Johnny.
Oh, did Ivor not go?
I don't know, did he?
Oh, and I was joking about the size of the tavern. I'll say,
I think
yeah, I
I mean, we
certainly.
could all go, I suppose. But...
I would.
What are
not
you
be
guys gonna
opposed.
do? You guys can go do your own thing.
I was gonna have a little siesta, but I'm not all that tired.
I could
Only
be a wild companion
tired-ish.
just to keep tabs on him if we want to know
Keep tabs.
something.
Why? Donnie's a fully. What do you? Okay.
Xalia seems to be concerned just to make sure that we know, where you are in case you need us. I don't know. I'm sure you'll be fine. You're gonna
I
make
think-
the best
What could
friends with
possibly go
Donnie.
wrong?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she's interested in a buddy system. I do not believe it is you specifically she's concerned
Right.
about. If it was any one of us who was going to the bar, she may be similarly interested in keeping tabs on us.
Agreed.
So are you letting Donnie know about this before he leaves?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what.
yeah,
Yeah,
talking to
Donnie
him,
just asked. Yeah.
This conversation is happening in real time.
Okay. So are you sending...
We're not role playing it, but yeah, the gist of the conversation is happening.
Sure. Are you sending the owl with Donnie, or is someone going with Donnie? Is that what you said you were doing, Betha, sending your familiar with him?
I offered. Yeah. Or, yeah.
But yeah, you could...
Just let
I'm not really
Donnie go
interested.
do what he's
It's up
gonna
to you
do.
guys to decide. Donnie's going. Who wants to
Alright.
go?
Yeah.
So
Let him do his thing.
Donnie's heading out. Do you send the
Actually,
familiar
you know
with him?
what? I don't have any wild shapes anyway because there's a bear on the way here, so never mind.
Okay. So Donnie goes. You said Ivor is taking a little nap.
A little nappy poo.
Kelly's gonna make the dome in the room.
Alright, so Zalia begins casting. You could probably
Like,
get the
covers
dome
about
up.
half
Yeah.
the room or a quarter of the room or something.
What is it? Well, how big is it? 9 feet?
And I believe it's 10 feet.
15 by
Okay.
15, I thought. Because we always sit. Oh, wait, maybe it
Uh,
is smaller. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it's Is it a 10-foot radius for the dome? Anyway,
It's 10.
Oh, radius,
yeah.
that would be, yeah.
It takes up part of the tent. There's still a good amount of space, though. Alright, so you make the dome. Ivor maybe slips in to get out of the cold because it's nice and warm inside the dome. Anyone else doing anything?
Before I take a short rest, I am going to summon Nettle.
Okay.
And then I'm going to send him off to just keep an eye on things.
Just kind of fly around the camp.
Mostly around the tent, just to keep an eye on anything coming to us.
Okay, so just kind of perch on top of the tent and watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure, Nettle flies up there, keeping a lookout. And yeah, anyone else doing anything? Or shall I just pass some time?
Theo,
Alright.
you doing anything? Trevor, you're...
No.
I heard you.
Theo's hanging out. So, Donnie, you head over to the fermentation tent, as they call it. There are a bunch of, looks like chairs in here. There's a roaring fire going, a bunch of giants sitting around smoking. There's a bit of a quietness as you walk in. Everyone kind of looks over, and Tyron is already there. He says, a friend of the tribe. Show him hospitality. They just kind of nod and say, welcome, small one. Have a seat.
Is the mug gonna be like Donnie picking up a barrel?
It's just like,
Bring me your biggest drink.
There's a bunch of laughter from the giants as this little guy asks for the biggest drink. Do you take a seat?
Yeah, I'm there to party.
Alright, so the seat is like, like a little kid sitting in like a huge chair. And there's a couple more laughs as you sit in the seat.
Donnie's not fazed by any of this. He's like, where's the drink?
One of them passes you a huge pipe. Smoke.
I'm not much of a smoker, but I will drink. Again, drink.
The bartender says, hold your horses, I'm getting you some.
Not the greatest service here, is there?
He's
Say to one of the guys.
He's gonna make
One of the
some giant
giants.
enemies while he makes some giant friends.
One of the giants laughs. He says, oh, the small one's calling you out, Bob. And there's like a laughter on the tent. Bob gives you a bit of a snake eye as he's pouring your drink. Stank eye. Motherfucker, little asshole telling me what to do.
For the drink.
So he walks over. He says, you got anything to trade for this? You're not part of the tribe.
I usually deal in coin.
Coin? Oh yeah, you all like to use gold. Sure, give me some gold.
How much you worth?
He kind of looks things for a moment. Give me one of those shiny coins and we'll call it even.
Yeah.
The gold
You know what?
coins.
Since you're such a good friend about this, here, have two.
Toss him two gold.
So there's like two little tiny coins in the middle of his hand. He looks at them. He's like, here you go. And he hands you this huge mug, which is basically like the size of a barrel. Just sloshing around with looks like ale. He says,
Can I attempt, and it's fine if you want me to roll this, I would like to try to down it in one.
Trying to show off your new giant buddies. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's... So, you're just going to try to down it, like, in one gulp?
Yeah, well, chug it. Just
Oh,
No,
so-
one long,
so-
yeah.
So just
Yeah,
chug it. Okay. Give me... Alright, so you... Like, crack your neck a little, maybe. And, just hoist this huge barrel up. Give me... First, give me athletics to see if you spill it all over yourself. Alright, so you're lifting this up and gulping it down. Give me another athletics check to see how much you spill. Okay, you're holding it steady, you're drinking, and maybe a little bit of impressed nods from the giants. And give me a con save to see if you get poisoned. Alright, sure. So you take a...
More than a DC 15.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I was just thinking in my head. DC 15 for first round?
Well, for drinking a whole barrel all at once, that is pretty impressive. But yeah, you're downing this barrel. I don't know if you could physically put all that alcohol in you.
So if it's like a full keg,
It's
yeah,
like a
that
keg
would-
the size of Donnie almost.
I still think we're talking different sizes, but okay.
So we'll say it's probably like 5 feet tall, maybe like 3 or 4 feet wide. Ish.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably like what a big mug might be to one of them. But all right, so we'll just say you maybe you down like most of it on the first one, or we'll say you just down it. That's fine. There's some nods from the giants. One of them says, "Well done, short one. Are you sure you won't have a smoke? It helps take the edge off the chill in the air sometimes." And he kind of offers you a humongous pipe.
I appreciate it, friend. I just don't smoke, and I've got these fancy boots that keep me warm. It's really kind of cool. And I've never seen snow before. I've got a weird history.
You haven't seen snow?
Nope.
How is that possible?
Not till I got here. Well... Okay.
You want the whole thing, and Donnie starts to tell his story. Like, not in exceeding detail, but actually probably more than any of his companions have ever heard. So, too bad you guys aren't here.
So, you start talking to them. Give me a persuasion check with advantage. As they are impressed with your drinking.
And talking about, my old tribe. Oh, fuck me.
Maybe they're laughing at you a little bit.
Yeah, they're laughing a little bit. They probably think I'm full of shit talking about, like, the old times and living underground and time traveling and all of that shit, and my clan and the history of the clan, and yeah.
Yeah, you don't know if they believe that you time traveled, or even if they fully understand what that means. One of them does talk a little bit about the deep. Apparently, there are tales of the giants going deep into the caves, some of the larger areas.
Do I get the impression that they're starting to loosen up a little bit with me, even if they're still mocking me a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you at least get the feeling that they are enjoying your stories and hanging out, as it's not every day they have someone besides a giant in here.
And so, Donnie at this point, and I don't want to roleplay the whole thing because I don't want to consume the whole session, but Donnie would actually attempt at this point to try to elicit two things from the group. One, are there any ill intention towards the dwarves or the human tribes? And two, if the Remora's beasts, like what other things they might be used for. If you want me to RP some of it, I can, but that, like, Donnie does.
Before I do that, does anyone else want to do anything while this is happening, or are you all still just kind of waiting?
I'm definitely napping, specifically.
Oh, and you sent me a message, huh, Ivor?
I did. You can get to that when you get. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway, so.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, I'll answer that in a minute. Anyone else? Theo?
He was going to try and check out the blacksmith and stuff with Chevreau, but after us pretty much saying, "No, we don't want to help you. We're just here to get what we want and get out," he feels that'd be a no. This is Theo's thoughts.
Well, Chevreau probably would mention to you. He says, "Perhaps we could have a word with the blacksmith. If the tribe is friendly to us, we might not have another chance to do this. What do you think?"
Are you very persuasive? Because I feel like we're at a massive disadvantage whenever we turn down helping them out with anything that doesn't directly benefit us.
He says, "No, I do not speak giants. Do you think Donnie would want to do this with us later, maybe?"
Hell no. Theo would reach into Zalia's bag of holding, pull out his potion of comprehension.
Hold the phone.
Nope,
Hold the phone.
he's
Can't
quick
just
as
reach
shit.
into my bag of holding.
Well,
He already asked you for it and you didn't hand it to him, so no. You know what he's going for.
I didn't hand it to him, and if you want it, you either have to
Well, Zalia probably has her bag of holding on her, so you might have to ask her to, unless you're just trying to like go through her stuff while she's there.
It's a bag of holding. You reach in, think the item, pull out. But
yeah,
Get to it.
but I mean,
It's on my person. So you can
If it
ask
was that
me, or
easy,
you can
then
try
I-
stealth, but you
If it was
can't.
that
can I
easy,
please
I
have
Potion
the
in my bag of
potion that I
holding.
asked for?
All right. Do you want to give him the potion of comprehend languages?
Yeah, I'll hand it over.
All right. So as you're kind
potion
of
that-
Wait, before I do, I'll say, Theo, is something bothering you?
Everybody.
What's
And he drinks the potion, looks at Chevreau. I know giant now. We got an hour. And heads out.
This is useful.
God. I'm just gonna look over at Betha like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
All right, so you and Chevreau are heading out to go speak with the blacksmith, right?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, you make your way through town. It is a little bit intimidating. A town of people who are twice your size and massive, just walking past you. You're definitely getting some looks, though. None of the giants are taking the time to really interact with you. They're just kind of going about their days or day. You get over to the blacksmith, and you do hear some pretty loud hammering coming from within. I assume you're going inside?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a massive amount of heat in here. As you get near, you also see that like the snow all around the blacksmith is melted. Inside, it's super hot. There's a humongous stone forge where there's a like really buff, muscular giant just slamming his hammer into well, it looks like he's making some kind of iron axe at the moment, which is kind of like half done. As you enter, he kind of sees the flap move and looks up and says in giant, "Who's there?" Because he can't really see you because you're so low to the ground. "Hello?"
Hop up waving. Hello, down here.
"A human?"
And I'm speaking in giant.
He says, "You must be the one I heard, the group that came into town." He like wipes some sweat off his brow. He says, "There are two of you. Well, what can I do for you two? I don't have anything in the size of your people, but what are you looking to buy something or trade?"
We're particularly looking to trade knowledge, if you would be up for it. We are both master artisans from the capital, Inwood.
Oh.
Seeing a chance that isn't open too many times, we saw an opportunity and would love to have a sharing between us.
The capital? You mean, are you from the Dwarven lands then? Or are you talking about the desert capital? I'm sorry, I don't know much about the empires of the short folk.
The southeastern kingdom. We're from the Teruvian Empire. We collect knowledge from as many kingdoms as possible and try to preserve it through the cycles.
He says, are you from Dazoric then?
Much further south than that.
I am from Dazoric. My friend here is from deeper within the capital. He says, well, you said you're seeking knowledge? Well, my name is Vustag. Good to meet you. And he puts his large hand out.
If you give me just a sec, I can have like a minute of being around your height so I can shake your hand properly. Theo does a little bit of magic, cast enlarge on himself to shake his hand.
Alright, so you grow to like, what, 12 feet or so?
It makes me one size larger, so.
Okay, so yeah, you're about half his size now, and he, but definitely easier to shake his hand. He says, that's a neat trick you got there.
Power of magic.
He says, well, what type of knowledge were you looking to trade exactly?
Look at Chevreau. Are there any particular things interested? I'm just general ways that you're able to temper metals of that size. Crafting things as big as you make would help on both the buildings and infrastructure.
Sure. Why don't I tell you a bit about my metalworking abilities? And he would start talking about, well, he doesn't have as much knowledge of architecture because mostly what they have here are tents, not actual buildings. But he definitely could tell you a bit about metalworking and how he crafts the axes he does. Mostly their weaponry consists of axes and swords, though they do have what's it called? Smaller weapons like knives, but they rarely use those. They don't really have anything like a bow, except for well, I guess this guy wouldn't do bows. That's more the Fletcher anyway. But most of them just throw rocks. Some of the more, some of the smarter ones use bows. He's kind of talking about all this.
The reason Theo would be interested in metalwork, the way that they're able to making big metal things of the size that they are, potentially apply that knowledge to like braces for buildings, castles, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Trying to invent steel beams.
Stronger metal pieces. Sure, yeah. So you start talking to him for a bit. He seems to be happy to have someone interested in what he's doing. Seems like he doesn't usually have someone who can talk shop with him.
If things do go super well in that talking and stuff, I would give him the idea of potentially building bonds between our nations, our groups, by coming to the Artisans Guild sometime and seeing what we've been able to create and all that. Trying to pretty much give him the pamphlet of, hey, come join the Artisans Guild.
Well, first off, give me a persuasion check.
This could help out for a potential generation, so I'll use the inspiration again.
Okay. So this is before you ask him about that, just to see how well you guys get on. So
right.
if you still want to use it, that's fine. But this isn't. Yeah, this is kind of before, just hanging out.
Okay, if this is before, I won't use it on this one.
Okay.
Flash of Genius, because I have one left, and just bring it above 10, it brings it to 12.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you all talk. He tells you kind of about his days working on the metalworking, some techniques he's using, like how he's busy with his son a lot, trying to get him more interested in smithing, teaching other people or other giants within the tribe smithing, just all this different stuff. He seems really happy to have someone to talk to. Looks like
I'd probably reasoning low persuasion stuff probably freaked him out a bit, showing him my armor, how I was able to forge it, and then how I've stored magic inside of it and then teleport around. Or teleport should grow around.
I mean, a 12 isn't low. A 12 is like average. You're just having a typical conversation. He's not really freaked out by you. He seems happy to have someone to talk to while he's doing his work, especially someone interested in his craft.
Did I learn his kid's name?
Yeah, let me look it up. Hang on.
You don't have to look it up and stuff, it's just more so did conversation go well enough where it's like, oh, he actually said his son's name and wasn't super cagey about it?
His kid's name is Rudo.
Rudo.
Or at least that's the nickname he calls him. Rudolphinon, I don't know. Whatever his kid's name is. Does anyone else, and I'm just going to skip around a little, is anyone else doing anything while this is happening? Or else I might just cut back to Donnie for a moment for what he's trying to do. Alright, so...
I'm resting.
Alright, so Donnie, you said you were trying to get information about what they might use the Remeroth for?
Yeah, well, and then also just to understand if they have any lingering ill will towards the dwarves or human populations, and I might say something to the effect of like, yeah, those fucking dwarves, you guys have any good battles recently with them? And, and I'm kind of playing up my orc nature in this.
Sure, give me deception or persuasion.
Yep.
And I'll give you advantage for right now, because you're all kind of laughing and...
Yeah, I'm not doing a great job at that.
No, so they don't really talk much about the dwarves. You get the feeling that they're not too impressed with the short folk. Most of the stuff you get about like dwarves and humans is that they all get killed when they come up here because they're all weak. So we don't see much of them.
Like any overtly antagonistic comments or anything like that?
Yeah, and also you're not rolling the best, so they probably aren't being very talkative. They're all just enjoying their drink. So you don't, unfortunately, you don't do very well and don't find out much, at least for the first few hours.
Can we do a quick arm wrestle competition with one of them, and then I'd like to ask about the remora, and that would probably be my evening.
Sure. So give me a.
Yeah, we had the mechanism for it. I think it was athletics, then dex, but we can replace that with the attack. And then
Oh well, that's more for like the weak. This would probably just be athletics, like straight
okay.
up. Because
That's fine.
I think yeah, you might be a bit of a disadvantage just because of how much bigger they are.
Yeah, well, and the drinking.
Well, they've all been drinking, but I think just because of their sheer size, like the angle of their arm might it would be easier for them to, put your arm down. So you go to arm wrestle with one of them. No raging or anything, right? I'm assuming it's going to be 16 for that first roll.
Yeah, that's 16.
Oh, he's not rolled very well, actually. And you actually managed to beat that first guy, barely. And a bunch of them they're all laughing at him, like, you got beat by a tiny person. And he's like, shut up, and he just runs away.
And he, kind of jumps up on one of the tables and screams.
Alright.
Anyone else? One more?
Yeah, definitely another guy walks over. He's like, now you fight me, little one.
And now I will enter into a rage.
Alright.
I don't think I actually get any bonuses to it, but...
So he would actually beat you, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
One by 2. He got a 26. And he goes,
I don't get a plus or anything.
But he would actually be kind of impressed that you did as well as you did.
I was close. I almost had you.
He says, you are stronger than you look. And he gives you a nod of respect. He's like,
and I toss a gold piece to the barkeep and say,
Buy this man around. He beat me.
And he's like trying to grab this tiny gold piece as it flies through the air. He's like, what the, where is it? And it just, he's like, what?
Like trying to see the snitch.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what is that? And it just flies past him. Is that like a speck of dust?
He just like fucking swatting flies at it. He thinks you threw a fucking bug at him. He's like, the fuck is that?
Yeah. But he would pour the guy a drink, finally finding this tiny gold piece. He says, you don't have to pay for Jim's drinks. I provide drink for the village. Plus, we don't really trade in human gold. It's more kept for what would the word be?
Trade? Barter?
No, more just like as a like something like almost like a decoration.
Like a novelty almost?
Yeah, novelty. Yeah. That's the word. It's like a novelty. Like they don't trade in gold among their people.
Well, I appreciate you accommodating me.
And then sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like they, you get the impression that they kind of trade their services to each other, and everyone just has their job. So these people just get booze when they come in here from this guy.
So I would pull out the dragon tooth at this point and tell the story of us defeating it, giving some credit to the team, but also overemphasizing my own role.
Which dragon is this?
This was the
Shadow.
Skeletor one. Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. The Dracolich.
Bone dragon, Dracolich.
Yeah.
He laughs. He says, "What kind of weak dragon doesn't even have skin? Sounds like a wuss dragon." They all laugh as they continue to drink. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yep.
I'm just picturing, you know how like guys will like punch each other's shoulders, like punch their bro's shoulder. I'm just waiting for one of the giants to do that to Don.
I'm waiting for the football ass slap. Somebody's just gonna fucking knock him over.
Just send Donnie flying through the window.
Exactly.
See you
what
tomorrow,
I'm
bud.
Donnie.
Donnie himself is not a bro, but he knows how to pretend to be a bro.
These giants aren't exactly bros, but they are kind of enjoying some of these stories. But they seem to be impressed by your dragon story. And they one of them says, "Oh, magic! Yeah, you gotta be careful around magic. It's cheating, I tell you. Suddenly, these little weak creatures can contend with you. They don't get it fair like we do by doing work and getting strong. They just use their magic to compete with us." And there's like, "Arr!" as a bunch of people raise their glasses.
And I would raise my glass and, yes, that's why we tame and train the beasties to help us with that. And again, I'm going to try to suss out from them any insights into their uses of remoras.
All right, yeah, give me one more persuasion check at advantage.
Cool. Fuck
Right,
me.
15.
Oh yeah, 15. Thank you. Advantage.
You kind of get onto the topic of the remora, and they mostly it's kind of what the leader was saying. It sounds like they mostly just use them for defense. They talk a little bit about when they have to attack the fire giants, which isn't something she mentioned much about, I don't think.
I know anything about the fire giants? They haven't been mentioned yet, right?
No, you
Well, they were
haven't.
mentioned once.
They were mentioned
Right.
once very
Real briefly.
briefly. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
if you talk about the fire giants, there is a bit of tension. Give me an insight check, actually. You might get something.
When we asked how many remora they had, and they said they have 2 left, one of the ways they said that they'd lost some was the fire giants. Yeah,
very
yeah.
briefly, she kind of mentioned something about it.
Gotcha.
So when you start prying about the fire giants, you get the feeling that there's a little bit of discomfort, almost like a tension, and they seem to be hesitant to talk much about the fire giants. But you get the feeling that the fire giants are a source maybe of some fear and embarrassment to them. Like, you definitely get the feeling they don't like the fire giants, but they don't. It doesn't seem like they want to talk much about who they are or what they do. But
So
it does
Donnie
seem like
would-
they're enemies.
So at this point, Donnie wouldn't press his luck too much. He wants to maintain a good relationship with everyone here. So
Yeah.
he'd basically, he'd help close down the bar at this point, both in terms of drinking and like maybe actually even helping the bartender a little bit and like
You're gonna jump inside the glass and try to wash it with your feet.
yeah, something like that. I mean, nothing as demeaning as that, but yes, he would be helping.
Sure, however you'd help. All right, yeah. So you kind of hang out. Theo, so you've been spending a good amount of time with the Smith, talking. Him, and Chevreau have been having pleasant conversations. Give me another persuasion check. You said you're going to mention... Now, this is the one for mentioning talking to the Empire, or the Guild, if you want to use your stuff here.
This will be the inspiration.
So he actually seems kind of surprised when you say that. He says, you think someone like me could just walk into your capital and not just get shot to pieces by your little crossbow contraptions? I feel like my people are not looked upon favorably by the smaller ones.
It would be a situation of I could write you pretty much a note saying that I personally am vouching for you to be able to come in, see everything, and using magic give word beforehand of you actually coming down there, so that way people wouldn't just shoot right off the bat. And potentially build up some relations between our people. Make it where shoot on sight isn't something anymore.
He says, well, I will admit, I'm always curious of all the things that you little folk can come up with. I don't know how you pull off half of the things you do with your contraptions, but
honestly,
yeah.
Bring your son. It might get him interested in blacksmithing a lot more whenever he sees what we can do with it.
He just wants to hunt. That boy's going to be a hunter. But there are others there are other children in the tribe who are interested in smithing. That's just the way sometimes. Your kids don't always do what you want them to do. In any case, if you think there's a way of speaking to to the humans, it might be an interesting proposal. That would be quite the trip, though. From what you were telling me, your capital's all the way across the continent, isn't it?
Yes, but if you give us enough time and everything, might be able to set up a quicker way of travel. We do, and then Theo would go in and talk about the steam engines and how they plan on setting up rails going everywhere.
So his eyes kind of glaze over as you start talking about steam engines, and you can tell he probably has no idea what you're talking about. But he says, well, I'm not against the idea of meeting with the humans. It just seems like it could be dangerous for someone like me.
Give me time to work something out. I can make it a lot less dangerous for you.
Chevreau would probably say in common, you know, it would be interesting to get insight from him in the guild, but he is right. If he ever got close to the capital, I don't know, even with a letter, if they would let him in. It would probably have to be a meeting with the guild on neutral ground. I don't think a giant would ever be allowed entrance into the capital.
We could start neutral ground, work up towards it.
I don't think a giant has ever even been to Dazoric, and that is on the border. That is someplace where it would be more likely to happen. But yes, there is a tension there because of the problems in the past of the interactions between the giants and the, as he put it, the smaller folk.
Theo looking at Chevreau. Luckily, we got one of the big family members here who's able to work a little bit of a in between. We work towards Dazoric for now. Capital in the future.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage. He kind of says, oh, well, maybe. I don't know if I could. My family is not the most...
Oh, no!
He says, my family is not the most happy with me, but who knows? Perhaps I could speak with them. So is there anything else you want to... Or sorry, go ahead.
I was just commiserating.
Yeah, is there anything else you would try to talk to the giant about, or are you just kind of hanging out?
Hanging out, staying away from the party.
Alright, so the day passes by, unless anyone else is doing anything. If anyone... Well, you probably couldn't actually buy anything of use from the giant tribe, because all their stuff would be way too big.
Copy.
Buy a steak.
Buy a steak.
Buy a steak. It's a fucking...
Oh, right.
128 ounce.
I'm gonna come back to the party with a giant-ass steak on my back and be like, got this for us.
Can I buy one of the kegs of ale? Like the next morning?
Like a glass of ale or like one of his kegs? I mean, that would be like a swimming pool for you.
A barrel. Well, a barrel. Like if they would have a way, again, I recognize they wouldn't have it in our sizes, but would they have something that would be a travel barrel that I could buy off of them? That's appropriate for my size.
For travel, he would probably have to custom make something because his barrels are huge to you. So he would have glasses that are kind of the size of barrels. He could probably try to seal one up for you, but you would have to do some work to make that happen. He doesn't have anything, he doesn't have any glasses or mugs in the store that he could just seal up.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Could use a portable hole. Just put one giant one inside there.
Just fill a portable hole with alcohol. You go swimming every time you take it out. All right. So, what was I saying? Oh yes, Ivor. Do we have to speak for a moment in the secrets?
Sure.
All right. Let me just refresh what your message was.
Sure.
Right. All right. Let's use secret room for one moment.
Yeet.
Secrets.
All right. So, Tinder would say, I've been keeping an eye on the people of Issyk and their camp, although most of them now have moved into the keep, or trying to move their people over into the keep as they repair it, but I have gotten some information from them. Was there something you were looking to find out in particular?
I'm just interested to know if if there is still peace in Issac among the various factions. I think I mean, there's still a newly formed community, so I think that maintaining civility is pretty paramount, and I just want to make sure that nobody's making any sort of wild moves or anything like that. Or if there is anything that I haven't thought of that you think is worth knowing, I'm always open to whatever you think is worth knowing.
He says, no, it's been peaceful there from what I have heard and seen. There's a lot more people there now. They've kind of established that the bases of those two families, the Esmira and the what is it?
The Softspires.
Softspire, yeah. Like their bases are now like little towns within the city that they've rebuilt, and people are staying there. So there's a lot more people. There's been some trouble here and there, but overall it's been fairly tame. I have found out a few secrets. There might be some I don't want to say a coup, but the Softspire have definitely been making plans a bit against the Esmira a bit, led by Malastray.
Interesting. And okay, so this might. I was still in two groups at this point. I don't remember if this was the group that Malastray had basically told us. No, that was Monday because we had already had the summit by then. Okay.
Yeah.
So when he said
the Monday
he's heard
group just had the summit, so this group definitely had the summit first, timeline-wise.
For sure, it did. I remembered a specific conversation in the courtyard with Malastray and a party. I'm pretty sure that was when I was May June. So I think that was.
Yeah, that was Monday. But Malastray was more definitely working with them more because this group had the issues with.
Because this was where Malastray. Yeah.
And you guys kind of gave him the finger. I gave him the finger, but you were definitely kind of cold to him.
Yeah, and he was at the summit, but that was the only time that we interacted with him since I've been there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So when he says he's found out some secrets about some sort of pseudo coup, not necessarily a coup.
Just that Malastray and the Softspire have been putting together plans to maybe do a grab for power.
Any sort of specific details on those plans?
That you're aware of? It's more political than violence. Just trying to
leveraging the right connections.
Leveraging things politically against Malastray and trying to get some of the factions like the what's her face, Dinara and Dinara's people to work with Softspire to maybe take control a little.
Okay. You said leveraging stuff against Malastray. Did you mean against...
against Esmira. The Esmira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that is certainly enlightening. Finally, I'll ask him how recently these things came to light and how quickly they seem to be progressing.
It's been in progress, he says. They've been happening over several weeks now. So it's a slow burn.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Of course. Do you have any idea when we might travel to the Hells? I may have allies for us there.
That's fucking odd. That's good to know.
He says, I was just wondering if you had a plan for that. Not that you need to have one, but I was curious.
Yeah. I'll reply and say, unfortunately, I don't have a plan yet, as I certainly plan on traveling with these companions, and I don't believe that they necessarily have a plan on going to the Hells. If there is some way that you know of to travel there unbeknownst to them, I am all ears on that, but that's not something that I have any familiarity with.
There might be... He says there might be a way through the Alcavian labs. I would need time there to research that, though. There may be a bit of a nexus there for traveling to several worlds and planes.
And that is the location in the mountains that the hobgoblins had, right?
Yeah,
Or is
that was the rune underneath where the Baylor was trapped.
That might have been. I definitely wasn't there for that, but I just want to make sure I got my mountain ranges correct.
It wasn't under the. Well, it was in the hobgoblin mines underneath in the ruins near. You remember the cave where the clay golem killed you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Was
where
it
that
the?
is. That's
Okay, was it like down that hallway to the
Yes,
east?
past the cave in.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, because we had somebody go in there like as a bug or something like that, and then there was another door that they couldn't get into.
Yeah.
So that's the Alcavian Labs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Anything else?
I will just say that I will, at the earliest opportunity, I'll see if we can get there, and then perhaps that is something that we can pursue.
Okay, sounds good. Let's head back.
Perfect.
One task instead of two.
Mhm.
I'm all in favor of cutting short our time here.
True.
We
will
don't.
take
We
more
also
time,
don't
but-
know the whole story about the conflict between the frost and fire giants. There might be more to that. We don't
We
know
could
for
try
sure
and-
that it's not
Are
balanced.
you all talking in the evening now about what you've learned?
Yeah, Donnie said he shared.
Next morning, really, but yeah.
So Theo's trying to convince everybody, like, come on, let's help them out with this, and it would help correct the imbalance that the Everlasting Ones created whenever they killed a bunch of the Frost Giants from Raz. We could use that to try and find out more knowledge with the Fire Giants, because if they're close enough to cause conflict, then they're close enough to cause trouble for us, potentially.
Yeah.
And
Data pointed out that we don't know that whether the fire giants have fought the everlasting ones, or if there's been damage on that side as well, or the history of the conflict between the fire and frost giants. There's more info to be gleaned before we know what balance really has been altered or needs restored or what have you.
Yeah.
plus, guys, I really want the Chiefess to like me. For.
This is just.
Well, I mean,
Friends, you have plenty
very
of friends.
hospitable. They're
Yeah,
being very
more than friend.
hospitable, even though we declined the one request. They're being very hospitable. So I think we're making good relations,
Wait,
to an
did you
extent,
say
even if
more
they're
than
not.
friends? Are you trying to like get a frost giant girlfriend or something?
Yes, Theo wants to one day make Hagrid.
Break you.
All right.
I am large. I can get up to her size for about 15 minutes.
Oh my. All right.
Wait, does
well,
it enlarge only last a minute?
Yep, for each cast, and if I use spell storing item plus spell slots, I can last for a while.
Well, in any case, so yeah, what is the group? I guess did we pass the night?
I was going to ask if we could long rest or not.
Yeah, I was about to say we could pass the night if everyone's okay with that, unless there's anything else that you all want to do before we pass the night.
I will, before dawn, cast a good berry level 4.
Okay, so you have good berries for dinner.
Oh,
No, I mean, we can if the tribe wants
well,
them.
you-
if I can get a hold of a
you-
giant steak, I would bring that back for dinner.
Yeah, you actually would be offered food by the giants. It is some sort of meat. You're not sure what it is. It's definitely something large. It's a
And
lot of
it's-
meat.
And it's
So-
cooked, or they give us fires, or we can make a fire.
It's cooked. It's
Okay.
it's like a big bone. Like you would think it's mutton, except it's like the size of you. So it's
Mammoth meat.
As
yeah,
wyvern
it-
leg.
It could be a wyvern or a mammoth. It's definitely something big, which actually doesn't
Roll a
taste
nature
too
check?
bad. Whoever, I guess you could roll nature.
Okay.
I'd like to cast a spell before bed also.
Okay. Yeah, you would guess this is some kind of. It is some kind of.
Who knew drugs in college days would help out so much in the future? I mean, so much about nature.
You think it's some kind of mammoth? It might be like a big elephant.
Ah,
Nice.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
During long rest, with the rules with tools, alchemy kit, I could make, alchemist fire for gold,
Yeah.
or ingredients for half cost. Could I make a thing of alchemist fire during the long rest?
Which ability are you using? Could you link it?
It's Xanathar's rules for tools, but they're optional ones. I'm not sure what page it is, but they give you the option during long rest to craft alchemist fire or a few other things. Think vial of acid. Hang on, trying to find it real fast.
Yeah, if you tell me what it's called, I could probably look it up. Well, while you're looking at that, Azalea, you said you're copying the map. Okay.
There I was, yeah, and before that I want to cast sending.
Okay. Who are you sending?
To that duder who was leading, David, I think his name was. He was
Yeah, the
leading
dude who was leading the loggers.
Oh,
back.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, what do you... So I've been having people just write notes. Do you want to just type it out in Discord or something?
Sure, I'll put it into the...
And then I could have him send you the message back.
Just in the main chat?
Yeah, main chat or Discord.
I'll do it in roleplay. Main chat of sorry, roleplay if Discord is.
Oh, Discord? Yeah, RP. Yeah,
I'll do it in RP.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
or you can message it to me if you want to be secret Santa.
I have Xanathar's in D&D Beyond, but it's Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Chapter 2, Dungeon Master Tools, Tool Proficiencies.
Yeah, let me see if I can just look it up with tool proficiencies.
And what time is our long rest reset happen?
7 a.m.
7, okay.
Is this alchemist tool proficiency?
Yes. Alchemist supplies, alchemical crafting. You can use this tool proficiency to create alchemical items. Character can spend money to collect raw materials, which weigh 1 pound for every 50 GP spent, but we have the alchemical reagents. So...
Hey, this is Tasha's Cauldron of Everything?
This is Xanathar's Guide.
Oh.
I'm snipping it into the Discord right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can make 1 dose of acid, alchemist fire, antitoxin, oil, perfume, or soap.
Yeah, give me a snippet. I'll take a look at it.
It's in the... Oh, maybe I can put it in Roll20. I put it in the Discord.
I can look at main chat. Let me see. Alright.
Yeah, it won't let me paste the images in Roll20.
It's the same expansion from Xanathar's that lets me make hidden compartments.
Okay, so give me, I guess, weighs 1 pound for every fit. Okay, so you're spending money to collect raw materials? Is that how this works?
Well, with alchemical reagents, could I just use some of those instead?
Oh, is that one? Because now I only have arcane, divine, and nature. Is that like back before I was doing that? Do you still have alchemical reagents? Yeah. If you still have them, you could definitely use them for that.
All right. If not, could I use arcane reagents if they got combined down? Yeah, we still have 135 of alchemical reagents.
So you can turn alchemical into arcane, and yes, you can use arcane.
Okay.
Sorry, how many are you taking on?
Let me look at the price real fast. $50 GP, so it's half of that gets used, so it'd be 25 GP used.
And arcane reagents?
We have the alchemist reagents. We can just keep
alchemical.
Those going.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll use those for it.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What are you making just for the log purposes?
I'm making alchemist fire, but it's going to be on me. It's the whole, with us running into everlasting ones and fire being a big deal, I figured if I make a few of these, it'll help us with keeping them from getting back up and stuff like that.
I will recast the dome before we go to sleep also.
Alright, this is what you get back.
Alright, I've checked in with David to let him know that we're with the Frost Giants and that we're safe. He's going to pass it along.
Alright, so you recast the dome. Night is going to pass without issue.
I'm so glad they didn't eat you.
Yeah, it's 25 words, right? Am I remembering that
Yeah,
correctly?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily know that, so he would just be thinking. Alright, so the time passes, the night happens, no issues. It is now the 5th of winter. Or, you know what? Give me a d20 roll. There is a slight chance something could happen. Before
It's
I
not
just...
here, so
Okay.
someone else is going to have to do it.
Can do it.
Anyone can roll.
Yeah, man. Go for it. Hey.
No, yeah, you're fine. So yeah, night passes. It is the 5th of winter at 7 a.m. You all get a full rest. You're all feeling good. Why don't we take a quick 5-minute break to stretch and use the restroom, if that's okay with everyone.
That's okay with me.
All right. So yeah, we'll come back on 7:41.
Yo, Brewer Supply DC 20 can just ignore the effects of alcohol.
Oh right, I think you do have to make a check to create the alchemist fire, don't you?
No, the DCs with alchemy supplies are to create a puff of thick smoke, identify a poison, identify a substance, start a fire, or neutralize acid.
Oh, to create something, you just
To create something is just spending a long rest doing it. See, with the whole crafting system, they don't give you many opportunities to actually
Well, it says
roll.
the DM can allow a character to make a check using the indicated skill with advantage.
Would you like to? I'm down to do that.
Is that to collect the raw materials? Is that what that means?
That might be. See, they're doing weird things where they're putting things like that in there to be like, see, it gives DMs options if they want to, but there's no actual.
Alright, yeah, just give me a roll. It's not that
Okay.
hard, but in case you biff it.
If I do real good, can I make multiple?
We'll see.
Alright, all-purpose tool.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So 16 would be enough to make a perfectly good dose of alchemist fire.
Woohoo!
So during the evening, I am assuming, could we have asked Theo a bit more about these? Oh, I guess we're not facing the Ramirez now, are we? We're going for the everlasting one. Okay, yeah.
Theo would still talk about him if you want to learn about him.
Yeah, let's let me step away for a moment. I'll be back. You guys can talk about whatever. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about, like, because you mentioned that they have like an inner heat, I think you said, and then you said that they swallow things. So yeah.
They swallow very big things whole. They have inner heat where if you do melee damage against them or close to them within 5 feet, I think it might be 10 feet, you will take fire damage just from being in their radius whenever they take damage. And you take damage from doing melee against them.
And do they have resistances? I think Betha would ask about that.
I think quite a few, but I
end
don't
up
know
breaking
off
them.
the top of my head. Theo probably would know. I personally don't know.
I think it's out of character. It's, I think, fire and cold, but yeah.
Yes, I
But
think
Betha would ask Theo about that. Yeah.
maybe acid too. And then he would also, while talking about that, talk to you about how giants view them a lot like how we viewed wolves back in more primitive days and domesticated them over time. That's what they're doing with these, and it's completely part of nature. Like, that's kind of part of nature where species make co-beneficial.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily beasts of burden because they're more like guard dogs than anything, and dogs of war. But Theo wouldn't mention that unless the fire giants are brought up. They'd be like, see, whenever you're fighting other giants, if you're gonna have beasts like how we have beasts during war, you need them to be upscaled. Not many of the big things are legitimately tameable, so whenever you do find one, you ingrain them into your culture.
Well, I'm not against training and befriending and partnering with animals in some ways, but she was, I definitely think she could have been more forthcoming with the details.
Yes,
And,
but
and as
imagine a bunch of bugs coming up to you to ask you why your nation's fighting with another nation.
well, if I'm asking those bugs for help and they have questions, then I understand why they might not like it if I'm not being forthcoming with them and might not want to help.
That is true. I just really want to help these people out and build something that can lead future generations and not have to ask these questions because we already know the information.
Ideally,
Be
we'll be
used
able.
for creation and destruction equally.
Yeah. Ideally,
Everything can be used
we
for creation or destruction equally.
ideally it would be lovely if we can make some inroads with both groups of giants to settle hostilities and establish maybe trade or coalitions. But again, we don't know all the details of the rivalries, so that may or may not be something that's even attainable or that we will be able to do in our time here, since we do have other priorities.
We need to ask Lou if one of us know anything about inner giant conflict, because as a player I know that there is a hierarchy and stuff within giants, and there is a lot of infighting between different ones because you don't want to be treated like a little shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a legitimate, you have less rights because you are smaller than me. Gildas probably would be losing his damn mind here right now, being like, if somebody asked about why they might be fighting, he'd just go on a tirade about fucking giant hierarchy bullshit that they have to follow and stuff. My people, though, we broke from that. We no longer follow the hierarchy of the giants.
Oh, that's right. If you were still here, be a second speaker of giant, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm. And he is actually part giant.
Right.
Furbolgs are descendants
That
of
have been
giants.
that have been I am mutated,
Feywild.
for lack of a better word, by the Feywild.
Yep. Full on mutated by Fey magic.
Yeah.
They were taken as slaves to the Feywild, ended up getting mutated, and then broke out for freedom and just incorporated themselves into Fey culture.
But they're a bit smaller than their giant forerunners, right? They've yeah.
They're like Goliath size, not actual
Gotcha.
giant size. But makes getting into doorways a lot easier. Then they have all the Fey magic benefits that make up for not being as big. Like, if you get enough Furbolgs together in a forest, anybody who's trying to find them that they don't want to find them cannot find their way to them.
Right.
They just, like, the forest itself turns them around and be like, nope, go the other way.
That's why they make such good druids.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on kind of where you're going with your druid, but a lot of druid builds can.
Oh, they can
very
fit
well
with
as a Furbolg,
every
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
Fey, so they can be crazy fire ones, too.
Yeah, my first druid was a Furbolg.
Is everybody back?
I think so.
Yep,
Ivor?
he's back. He gave a thumbs up.
Yep.
Donnie?
Yep.
Alright, so it's 7 a.m. the next day. What do you all want to do? You're waiting still?
Yeah, we're waiting for the leader of the giants. So I will leave the tent and wander around in hopes of catching an eye on her, and I will ask Nettle to have a look around the camp to see if he can spot her.
Alright, so
I'm not.
you actually might, or any of you might notice something with persuasion today, if you're looking around outside.
Persuasion or
I'm
perception?
sorry, perception, not persuasion.
Looking around with persuasion.
Nailed
You
it.
said
I
any
will
of
look
those?
around with persuasion. Fuck.
Oh, should I flash a genius on this? No.
Now, I'm not trained in
so-
persuasion, but you said any of us, right?
Perception.
Perception.
Or, that's what I meant.
Yeah, anyone. So you, Betha, you, and actually Theo would both probably notice that There are a lot less giants out walking about today. You're not sure where they all went. There's only a couple in the street, or, well, not streets, but walking around in the camp.
I had a nice time with the blacksmith yesterday. If we want to ask for some information, potentially get answers.
And you would probably notice this as well, Zalia, with if you walk around and your owl's out. You don't see many giants as compared to yesterday. You wonder if they took off somewhere.
Maybe they like to sleep in.
So that
That's
was kind of an
possible.
early morning walk, so I'll go return to the tent, and it's very strange, but it doesn't seem to be as many people out. Perhaps it's because it's rather early, but I wonder if...
Perhaps that, or perhaps they went to go and sort out some Remora's eggs, or perhaps they are marshalling their forces for whatever plan Kevara has to deal with the Everlasting Ones.
Well, I would say we either have Donnie go, I'm sorry, not Donnie, Theo go talk to his blacksmith, or we ask for an audience with Kevara to see if there's any new developments, because otherwise we're just waiting for her to tell us when she's ready, right?
Indeed. It might
I mean-
be the best, most direct course of action just to seek her
To
out.
go and see if she's ready. Yes, I agree.
Alright, do you want to head over to the tent?
I think so. I think that is the consensus.
Alright.
Yep, that's fine.
So you hear a lot of talking when you get to the tent. It sounds like there might be some kind of meeting going on inside. There are no guards out front, so no one's stopping you from just walking in.
As if it sounds, but we can hear this conversation happening from the outside.
Yes, so as you get close, you hear a bunch of shouting in Giant. Which actually, I guess, Donnie, you would hear something. Give me a perception check.
Reach out and touch Ivor on the arm and cast tongues on him.
Hey,
Okay. Then Ivor, give me a perception check as well. Okay. So it's not too hard to hear them. Ivor, you're getting a couple words. Donnie, you can hear some conversations about... it sounds like there's some disagreements about some kind of attack that might be happening. Sounds like maybe some planning as well. You wonder if maybe they're talking about the Everlasting Ones.
Okay, so they don't mention a target at all.
Not so far, but you've just kind of just arrived.
Clearly Zali is using her magics so that other people can understand, so I just kind of wait for them to decide what they want to do.
We're so crabby about that.
I'm
The
doing
barbarian who wanted
How
to be
dare
the
you
diplomat.
actually want to hear the conversation?
Anyway,
There's no need for me to relay it, is the point.
Donnie's Donnie
I'm not
likes this
catching
giant
it.
stuff.
I can understand the language, but I didn't hear it.
Do you say as much?
I'm just listening right now to see what I can pick out and what I can't pick out.
See, you're crabby about me, and the person you give the ability is not even relaying information.
That's
So-
because I didn't hear it, dude.
So are you?
If you
also-
want to relay it, relay it.
Yeah. Do you relay any of this, Donnie?
Sure.
Alright, so you tell them kind of what you're hearing. Do you want to stand there for a while and...
did you hear that too, Ivor? You're hearing the same thing, right?
Oh. Are you all standing there for a while listening, or do you want to walk in? What do you want to do?
I think we're headed in. That was just an all the way thing, yeah?
We could, if Donnie does tell us what's going on there, we can wait a couple minutes, see if they say what they're getting ready to fight before we walk in.
Alright, so you listen for a bit, trying to pick up some more of what they're saying.
It'd be wise.
It's the group, Swan. It's up to the group.
Alright, give
Donnie's
me...
able to pick it out.
Those who speak the tongue, give me some more perception checks.
Do or don't?
I think, alright, well, you both stand there for a bit, but you can't make out too much with the tent flap closed. So are you walking in?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go inside, and there are a bunch of giants in here. they notice you walk in. You would see, what's her name? It's just looking at her. I should remember. Kaivara. She's speaking with some of her hunters. She notices. Well, actually, would she notice you walk in? Maybe not. You guys are kind of small. No, she doesn't really notice you walk in. She is talking to a bunch of her hunters. A bunch of the giant warriors are standing around. Sounds like she's talking about plans to attack trolls. As she is discussing something she's calling. I should remember this. Something she's calling the Dire One. And she's mentioning some trolls. She is looks like she's kind of making war groups right now, which your friend is leading. Tyron, your friend Tyron is leading one of them. What does the group want to do? You still haven't been noticed by most of them.
Are there any who have noticed us?
Oh, actually, no. No one's noticed you yet. I mean, you are pretty small compared to all of them, so most of them are just looking up at her.
Sure. Well, personally, in the interest of not making it appear like we're eavesdropping, because that is not my intention, I will walk forward very plainly into... Not like, I don't know how this is. I mean, I'm imagining and it's like a circle. I don't know if that's how it's happening or not, but I'm trying to put myself in a position where I could more easily be noticed.
Yeah.
So that way nobody's like, who the fuck is skulking around?
Yeah. All right.
I'm actually going to say in common as we walk, hello, sorry to interrupt.
Huh? So a couple of the giants turn now, finally noticing the smaller group. Kaivara looks over and she says in giant, my allies, you've come. Good. I was actually going to send someone for you. We've made some plans for the initial assault. I believe we're going to attack the troll allies of the everlasting ones first, as it will make our later assault a little bit easier.
Blankly.
I'm
going to stare at her blankly.
Oh yeah, because you don't know what she's saying. She kind of might realize that now and look over to Donnie to translate, because she probably doesn't know Ivor can speak right now.
And Donnie would, basically convey that Ivor can help with talking today.
Oh, so she looks to either of you to convey what she's saying to your friends.
I will communicate in common, and
Theo's giving her
magically everybody knows.
Like happy flirt looks, I guess.
He's just dumb grin on his face.
Hey, how you doing? All right. So,
I don't understand what you're saying, but I like hearing you talk.
I don't speak Italian, but it sounds nice.
Exactly.
Bonjour, or I don't know. However Italian sounds like. I'm Italian.
Gorlami.
Spaghetti.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Oh, Arrivederci.
I can make Italian jokes because I'm part Italian.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno. No, wait, that's French, isn't it?
Yeah, but just come back from Italy.
Italian. Bonjour is French. Buongiorno is Italian.
Oh,
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. All right, so yeah, you begin translating what she's saying. She says there's a troll cave nearby the Everlasting Ones, but there's a really big, nasty troll in it and a lot of smaller trolls. If we can wipe them out, they're less likely to assist the main force of the Everlasting Ones in the big assault. Do you all think you could do that? While we start
good at burning trolls.
Yeah.
And she was asking us to deal with this dire one.
Yeah, so there is a dire one with them. So that's what she's saying would be the most dangerous to you all. But
what makes this dire one special? Is there? Do you know anything about it?
Right?
Yes, the Troll King was like a really powerful dire one. But yeah, it's similar. The Troll King was a dire one. It was like a boss dire one. So yeah, it would be similar to the Troll King that you fought.
What kind of
That we
numbers?
screamed and ran away from.
Yeah,
We've lived and learned.
I'm
that was
out.
like 3 levels ago, though. You've learned so
True.
much.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Sorry, what did you say, Betha?
I don't remember.
Well,
I think something about like we've lived and learned since then or something like that.
yeah,
to be fair, the giant boulder softened us up more.
We
exactly.
also were really low in magic at the time, so.
Yup.
So the caves are a little bit small for us to assist you. So you'd probably have to go in there alone, but we could definitely cover the outside and make sure no more show up.
If I had more time,
Or go ahead.
if I had more time, I could literally make enough stuff to smoke them out. Just pelt them with boulders.
Well, the cave system they're in is quite large, so you would require a lot of smoke. But is this
We're
acceptable?
not actually saying that because
Oh, all right,
we don't hear them.
gotcha. I thought
I am translating though.
Yeah, I was translating.
okay.
I thought.
Yep, active translate.
All right. So is that I know this isn't the exact attack on the everlasting ones I said we were going to do, or would you be okay with doing this first for us?
Do they come
Control
out
sounds
at
fun.
times, or will we have to go into these cavern networks?
So the trolls mostly skulk in the caves. They sometimes come out to hunt, but they also hunt within the caves because the caves run deep into the mountains. And let me look this up real quick. Whenever a ritual is performed by the everlasting ones, it summons a nearby troll, which they feast on. So that's one instance where they'd come out. Otherwise, yeah, mostly just to hunt sometimes, but not always.
But when one has been summoned, do they come out alone or do they come out in group?
Usually just the one comes out.
Okay.
So they were saying that the caves are too small for them to go into. I maybe missed the part where the other groups are going to be doing something if they can't go in the caves.
They're going to watch the caves and make sure no trolls or other enemies come up on you. So basically just watching your back, kind of.
How many groups are there?
The hunting groups, it's probably like 3-4 groups.
I wouldn't think every hunting group would be coming to back us up. Probably one, and the rest are going to hunt.
Yeah, they're probably going to
scout.
keep busy for now. They're probably she's using the rest to kind of scout out the everlasting ones and prepare for the actual battle later to make sure.
Oh, okay. I was like, we're gonna have like 20 giants just fucking.
No, with it being a big
Standing
system,
around.
will there be multiple entrances into this cave system, or is it only one entrance?
There are a couple of entrances nearby that we could use. There are other entrances they can come in, unfortunately. I'm trying to find that.
Oh, I was just thinking if it's small enough amount of entrances could also collapse them in.
Oh, so they couldn't get out? No, unfortunately, there are other ways they could get out. The main point of this is to hit their nests so we can wipe most of them out. These are followers of Vaprak, these trolls, which is the god that is creating the everlasting ones. So
Vaprak just doesn't sound like a fun god.
no, he is an enemy to my tribe.
Packaging company, but
His followers have caused great pains to our people as they have tried to not only take over the tribe, but also they've congregated to attack us and your people as well. So they're no friend to either of us.
not sure what the question would be. I say in common to our group because that's all I speak. This is what we agreed to do, is it not?
More or less. I think that this is a necessary step to doing the thing that we agreed to do. I think attacking the everlasting ones before dealing with the trolls is a worse idea than dealing with the trolls first and dealing with the everlasting ones later. I think if we attack them head on, they are likely to get reinforcements from the trolls quite quickly, which I think is consistent with Kaivara's interpretation of their arrangement.
Do you have an estimate on the amount of trolls in there?
Our people haven't been in there, so unfortunately we can't tell you, but The good thing is the cave systems wouldn't allow too many to attack you at once. So if you can keep them at a bit of a bottleneck, even if there are many, you could probably whittle them down.
And we're looking for a nest in particular.
Yes.
Like a hatchery nest, or just where they're grouped up the most?
I guess I guess that.
Can I roll to see if trolls have hatcheries or anything like that?
They don't
Where?
generally have hatcheries. They're types of giants.
I don't know how trolls work.
They're
You-
they're mammalian. I'm sure they just live
They have
birth.
eggs or anything.
Or nurseries, then something like that.
Yeah, so it's basically a troll
Yeah.
lair. They probably have a bunch of their stuff there. I mean, it's like this town. It's just like a big group of trolls that hang out and kill things together.
Okay. Get to the
Whatever
town
the
center, burn it all down.
whatever the name of that fucking stupid settlement in Dark Souls is. That stupid poison shit. That's what it is.
Yeah, probably similar. I know this is different from what I initially asked, she says. I thought, I just was making my plans and I thought better of leaving this nest in place. I think it, well, I guess you wouldn't have known what Ivor said, but I believe that we need to get rid of this to make sure the main attack goes smoothly. I apologize.
Yeah, being able to
I agree.
stop them from reinforcements is a smart idea.
This seems quite prudent.
And this should be much easier than fighting the Ramaraz. As
Do the Undying ones give birth to other Undying ones, or do they still
Suddenly
need
obsessed
control?
with how trolls are reproducing, Theo.
Well, no, I was thinking about
are you the
If-
everlasting ones? You mean?
yes, if you will an everlasting one give birth to another everlasting one, or do
No, the
They have to.
everlasting ones are more of like an abomination. They don't reproduce other everlasting ones. They have to be created through the
okay, so kill all the
will of
trolls and candy.
Vaprak. Yes, if there are
Up
no
to the
more.
worship of the god. I remember I explained all of this when we were talking about Vaprak to begin with, in quite a bit of detail, I thought.
I zoned out.
That
Theo,
didn't surprise me.
Theo doesn't care as much about Vaprak.
I was worried about walking into
There's
a giant
troll
town.
reproduction.
Yeah. Well, if you are all ready, we can make haste and get this over with. I think once we do this in the evening, we should attack the everlasting ones just to make sure they don't find out what's happened.
Better to act quickly than to sit on our thumbs.
Yes.
Could potentially put some people in place to attack us sooner the trolls are dealt with and the rest come to support.
It's also possible that we may exhaust our resources in this fight, so we'll let you know when we get back if we'd be ready for a fight this evening.
All right. Well, do what you can to preserve your resources, but if we have to wait, I understand. It might make the fight tomorrow harder if they suspect we're coming.
Quite.
How much time do you anticipate needing to regroup between when we deal with the trolls and when we deal with the everlasting ones?
Probably not much. As long as you all, I mean, I assume you all will need time to recuperate from the battle. So I was thinking of giving you an hour to rest.
That's the magic number, my
Warlocks,
friend.
man.
All the
Oh, if-
warlocks nod.
If it was a situation of we couldn't get the hour, just throw some sand in Ivor's eyes, give him 10 minutes.
Pocket sand. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we could go right from one to the other. That would probably make it the least likely that they know what's happening, but we could probably take an hour. I don't think they'll figure it out in that 1 hour.
If we're not too banged up, we can go back to back. If not,
Theo, how much pocket sand can you use at once?
let me double check.
Say 6 doses?
No. Maybe. Let me
Let's
look
just
this real
see
quick.
how it all plays out, shall we?
So 3rd level,
Depends
3
on
creatures
what,
per
depends on what
spell
level
slot.
5 you want to use, I guess.
Well, 3rd is my max. I'm a half caster.
Ah, yes. Okay. Noted.
I think artificers should be full casters, but
No.
Just for yourself.
That's a no from me, dog.
Hey, I'm not thinking balance. I'm thinking cool factor.
Yeah, I know.
You're always thinking cool factor.
Yes.
No, there are a lot
to
of
the moon,
times I'm
motherfucker.
thinking about balance too. There are a
I
lot of
mean,
times I'm thinking about
that's
balance too,
fair.
and that part's just not listened to whenever I say it. I'm not completely insane. I even know how to balance somebody playing as a dragon.
It doesn't
There's
mean
a
you're not
whole
still thinking cool factor, though.
No.
Give me
I don't know about somebody playing as a dragon. There's no balance for that.
Well, you don't start them off as an adult dragon.
Yes,
Moving
we'd be
on.
happy to go.
Quite.
Alright, sorry, give me one moment. I'm just, I've had to rejigger my plans a bit, as I did not know any of this would happen, so give me one moment.
Wondering that
I just thought you guys were going to fight the Ramaraz.
You didn't realize we were going to be.
And I wanted to!
Which is, no, it's fine, I mean, I actually don't mind that you're not, I just have to, change some
Man, in
things.
order to help them get their puppies. But
I'm
no,
not-
getting
I'm
people
actually-
puppies is an evil thing.
Yes, when you take them from their parents.
But their parents are going to try and actively eat you unless you grab some to then tame to not eat you. That puts another level on it.
There's no wrong answers.
Still creating problem. Yeah. That's why there's two sides. It's like fucking
Plus
stealing dragon
impressed
egg.
I would 100%. Oh my god.
Of course
There's
you would.
no convincing Theo not to. If y'all try and stop me, just nope, dip it.
I would adopt a dragon egg. I'm not stealing a dragon egg. And no, I'm not killing a dragon to then make the egg adoptable.
You don't have to kill it. I can do that. I need the materials. It's a win-win for me. I need materials, and pets are fucking awesome. And I have the Haggard complex. The more terrifying they are, the more cute I think they are.
Theo totally wants peace and love amongst all unless they allow him to build something, then kill it all.
In
and
case
drink
you were
it.
wondering who
Yep.
caused Jurassic Park, this is the guy.
100% there should be an island that is a preserve for dinosaurs. Just don't make flying ones. 100% there should be an island somewhere with dinosaurs on there. That would make the world a better place. Just don't be dumb bringing them to the mainland. Don't make flying ones that can come to the mainland. And don't make swimmy ones either.
That
Swimmy
sounds
ones.
like you don't make them in the first place.
No, I'll make them. But then you don't have dinosaurs living.
We went too far.
No such thing.
We spent a lot of time thinking about whether or not we could raise dragons and not whether or not we should.
Man. I miss my turtle cleric. We literally found a white dragon egg at hatch and instantly bonded my turtle because he had super high animal handling. He just got lucky.
Wild.
Yeah, it was great. White dragon too, so it wasn't instantly trying to talk to you and stuff. Was more primal and everything.
You have nature, right, Theo?
Yes. So does Betha and I think Connie too.
Yep.
Alright, so you all might know some things about trolls.
And we've
So,
had quite a bit of experience with them.
From
And are
what,
we-
go ahead.
Are we still in conversation with this ensemble? Are we still in the
Yeah, so you're
yurt?
at this point. You're all in the yurt. You're speaking with
Kaivara and friends?
Kaivara, yeah, and the hunters. They're telling you a bit about what they think you'll face. So I'm going to reveal some trolls to you. Those
I
with
was just about to ask that.
yeah, those with nature would know about basically what's written there under the trolls. If you have nature training, so there's the dire troll. If you want to do a little reading real quick.
His belly button has teeth and eyes.
Foul.
There's the standard troll. This
That
is
dire troll. That's the what's the word I'm looking for? The VIP.
Yeah, he doesn't ever come out of the cave, almost like a queen bee. There's
Okay.
the venom troll, which the hunters tell you is particularly nasty. None of them like it.
Now with that, are we able to shut off their exploding acid ability with fire? I think we did that before whenever we were in Issac.
I'm not sure about that.
I think it was just the
No, it was the rot troll,
regeneration.
which is the one you could shut off. I don't think the venom troll. I think whenever you hit it, it just sprays a bunch of venom on everything next to it. So those are the trolls they think will be present in the cave area.
Word.
Yeah, I guess I could take a look, but I don't think you remember being able to turn off its poison slash or splash. You could just turn off its regeneration ability with fire, just like any of the other ones. So those are the trolls they think will be there. The other thing I need is...
Does the rot troll doesn't regenerate?
It does. They all regenerate. Oh, the rot troll doesn't. It just sprays necrotic energy on everything around it.
Alright, so rot troll we want to get fire on to stop its ability, but it won't pop back up.
No.
You sure you don't want to make friends with it and raise it like it's a pet?
Hell no, Donnie. we have rot bro. That's the troll buddy that we need.
So the other thing I need is a...
You forgot, you have a troll buddy.
I need a marching order from left to right. Like whoever's in right is the front. However you want to be set up. If you want to be in like 2x2s or one or single file or 3, 3-1-1. However you want to set up.
Tokens on the...
Yeah, pull out your tokens and let me just show me what you want your marching order to be. So assume the front is over here on the right of the screen.
Oh, on the right of the screen is the front.
Beldani would probably either take the lead or the rear.
So this is the front row where Donnie is.
Yeah.
Bell's usually
Donnie would allow Beldani to be up front with him, but if we're going into battle directly, he's wanting to be in front.
Beldani does... I'm guessing we're probably not going to play Beldani. I mean, we only have like 20 minutes left, but he'll probably be part of this fight next time.
I'd imagine he's, from how he's played before, he's probably somewhere between me and Theo or near.
That's usually where he is.
And I will just use whatever you set up here as your marching order for encounters moving forward. So just however you want to be standing.
Yeah, I just want to make sure Theo's far enough back to where he can go to the
Single
front.
file, but I'm putting Nettle just above because he's on my shoulder.
Okay, so he'd be on your shoulder. Got it. And I guess
I'd be walking next to, not in single file.
You'd be what?
I'd be walking next to the line, not in line.
Okay, so a little to the south there.
Yeah, I want to be able to run to the back if something comes up behind us or to the front.
Okay. So I mean, I could just put Nettle to the front and put him on top of Zalia's token like that. Or what? Stick him behind you? I'll just leave him north of you. That's fine. Alright, so this is your order. This is how we're walking in the cave and everything.
I believe so.
Alright. So the group is heading out towards the cave with the giants.
Trolls. Oh, with the giants.
Yeah, with the giants.
We
Yeah,
got giant buddies.
I was like,
Kill some
caves
trolls.
with giants? I thought they didn't fit.
Alright, so they lead you to the area. Give me a d20 roll to see if there's any problems. Unlikely because you have a bunch of giants with you, but you never know. Yeah, you're fine. So you travel for a couple of hours in the morning through the snow. It is about 10 o'clock when you reach a kind of like a 10-foot cave entrance, like kind of like a 10 by 10 area with a bunch of bones outside. The giants have their rocks ready to huck them, but there are no trolls in the area right now. Who's with you? Tyron would nod and say, "This is the place, my friends. Good luck to you."
Shevro and Rock Bottom with us? I'm Boulder Bottom?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. But you can bring them if you want, but they could also wait back at the.
I mean,
you
if
know.
they're going to be backgrounded anyway, then maybe we would ask them to.
I would say let's err on the side of caution and leave them, because we know that they're not going to engage. So let's leave them somewhere they're not going to get fucked up.
That's what I was thinking.
Because we're probably, if we deal with the caves and then go right
So,
to
you
the
know what,
everlasting ones, we'll want to go back to the settlement probably anyway after that.
To cover it, could we ask them to maybe stay behind and try to map out our path north?
Oh yeah, spend some time figuring out on the map where we're going from here.
Oh,
Well, we're probably going to get the secret anyway, but
Yeah,
still,
but that might be like a
whatever.
when we get there kind of thing. I'm just
Sure,
thinking
yeah.
maybe it will give us some advantage on the survival check later.
Sure, yeah.
You want them to map out your path from here towards the tower? Oh, okay.
From the giant settlement to the tower. Yep.
So.
So what I'll do is before we leave
Yeah.
the camp, we'll ask the chieftain if there's someone who can help with the helping us to travel north as far as mapping out the best course. And if she says yes, I will cast Rary's telepathic bond on that person and Chevreau and Boulder Bottom and let them canoodle on it while we go and do our thing.
All right. So you mean towards the Cursed Valley or Cursed Tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, I can have one of my people show you the way. That said, my secret will allow you to bypass that.
Entirely.
So you won't need to necessarily. And Boulder Bottom would tell you that he does know the way there. He can.
Okay. All right. Never mind then.
Yeah.
I was just thinking it might give us. I mean,
although
we're gonna have any walking to do.
It might be good to have it documented on Zalia's maps anyway, just for future reference.
Oh, just for her? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, he can work on the map. He says, I would like to actually scout the area, so I can do that. I don't want to bring Chevreau with me, though, because, well, no offense, friend, but you're not all that quiet or good at survival. He says, none taken.
Chevreau can work on the map, and Boulder Bottom can go scout.
Yes, I shall stay behind and work on the map as well as my notes. I am fine with this. Boulder Bottom would nod. So Boulder Bottom goes out to do some scouting while Chevreau stays behind, and the rest of you go to the caves. Fast forward from that little flashback, and you are all standing at the caves, ready to go in. Do you enter? You ready to head inside?
I could take a nap.
Do you need to do anything else before you go in?
Time to go back to Capital.
Alright.
I've already cast Mage Armor.
Okay, so you're all set heading into the caves. So you move in. Give me first perception checks.
Everyone?
Well, I'm assuming you're looking around for like signs of passage inside the cave, right?
Right. I just didn't know if it was like just some of us or
anyone who wants can roll. Okay. So Betha, yeah, you as you're looking around, you do find some signs of like maybe some mud here, like a muddy footprint here, like maybe some moss from inside the cave is disturbed. It looks like something large came through here recently. Survival check, please, if you want to point that out to the group. Okay.
Look there, I see tracks.
So do you, you would guess a group of, 20. You would guess a group of 6 trolls came through here maybe 3 hours ago.
Inbound or out?
Inbound. So they're going into the caves.
We can still smell them.
Yeah. Assume you're following them.
I'll point out the trail and show Donnie like what I'm looking for, so he can kind of continue to stay in the lead. But yeah.
Donnie, give me a survival check as well.
Alrighty.
So
I am
Donnie,
trained in it if it matters.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so you're following these tracks as you get deeper in. You start getting a pretty foul smell coming from this place, and you also find a couple of piles of troll excrement here and there. The air is getting more stale, so you know you must be getting close. The cave is freezing. Lots of cold, frozen air down here. At one point,
Like it.
yeah, Donnie's totally into it. At one point, you get to kind of a turn, and you hear sounds coming from up ahead. Sounds like very faint, maybe something speaking giant. This could be it.
Do we want to be sneaky or?
Does the trolls speak giant?
Trolls do speak giant, yes.
Okay.
As their
Yeah, that's
native
how we talk
language.
to Rot Bro.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Everybody always forgets Rot Bro. He's the
I never
biggest
forgot
bros.
rat, bro.
Gone but never forgotten.
Well, I didn't think of it. I just didn't remember he spoke giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off protecting Walmart's version of Azalea.
Yep.
I like the character personally, but Azalea seems just like yourself.
Whatever.
Weird seeing a mirror, huh?
So yeah, what do you all want to do? Do you want to try to approach stealthily? Do you want to just start moving forward, charge in?
I want to get in close stealthily so we can at least see.
I can give us some cover with a low level magic.
That would be amazing.
All right, I'll cast Pass Without Trace to get us closer.
Okay. So you can all start. Well.
Oh, hey, Betha! There's a nat one too.
There, you idiot!
I trip over my dress and fall into Ivor.
Oh my. So you're giving her. A
I use
reroll
my
on
reaction. Yeah.
All right. So you can.
Ah!
Well, apparently, as you were yelling at Zalia, you also trip over your dress, Bertha. What are you doing? Oh, jeez!
I'm going to Flash of Genius Donnie to bring him above 10. It brings him to 13.
Okay.
So that should make our top three 20, 10, and 13.
All right. So
2015.
Somebody roll for Beldon.
Oh, yeah! You got 15
Yeah, right?
plus.
Roll for Beldani. He's with us.
So
Yeah, we do have his machine, but I don't know if that's how it works.
yeah. So that does get you in a little bit closer. Unfortunately, I would have to use all your rolls for when you are close to them.
Oh, wait, there's Pass Without a Trace too, so everything's
it'd be
plus
plus
10,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 30, 25, and 13, 23.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Betha would be 14.
Okay.
Well, but do we use the three top ones, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 23 with the Theo's thing.
Woo! Ooh! That's a lot better. Thank God, Betha.
All right. Let me figure out how this is gonna go. Give me one moment.
So we could fight and stuff, but we're not just running in without planning stuff. Being tactile.
So you probably aren't gonna get the drop on them with those rolls, but you will
Mine's
be
a
able-
25, actually, not a 23.
Yeah.
Right, but Donnie's is a 23 because he has
yes.
Flash of Genius to boost them.
But you will be able to get close before they notice you. So as you start to move through the cave, you're being very quiet. You would basically turn a corner, and up ahead you would see some trolleys. Let me
Trolley.
trolley.
Time to Vortex Rope Donnie before he rages.
Wait, what is that? Is that the method? Is that the approach?
That's the news.
Let's go!
He
Yeah.
was now
That's
pissed
strategy.
at Donnie, so he's gonna do that every time. I just I thought it meant you liked it last time.
Yeah, you had that smile on your face at the end, but it was an upside down smile.
So smile.
Let me figure out what the marching order is going to look like at this angle.
I learned just use my reaction 2 and then hold it so that way Donnie can rage first.
Are there lights, or are we carrying
Just
lights?
TPM.
I assume you don't have lights out, but if you want, you can.
All of
Well,
us
I
have
guess
night vision.
yeah. We probably wouldn't, but I was just curious if they have night vision or if there would be torches.
These
I
things
think-
definitely have dark vision.
Yeah, they live in
They
caves,
live
so
in
I
the cave.
Well,
So-
yeah, I figured, but sometimes some night creatures still have torches when we like go in their places, so I was just checking.
Yeah. No, these guys, these things aren't smart enough to make torches.
Okay.
Cats don't have night vision, so other things might not. Should.
So they unfortunately do see you coming. Did I just freeze up the thing? Oh, there we go. So they hear you coming around the corner. Donnie, here, I'm going to move you all back a little because he would be up front.
Well, I wouldn't be quite right there. If would we have seen any offshoots coming to where other things might come up from behind?
I mean, you kind of came in from over here, like back
All right,
here. So there's not many
this
things
might
that
be
can come from
potential.
the south. No, that's all closed.
Okay, awesome.
This,
So
yeah.
if we notice that while coming forward, I probably would be next to Betha right there, but I can stay back if you want me to.
Yeah, that's fine. You could be there. So yeah, Donnie, you kind of
Wait,
turn
so
the corner.
my token is out? Because I don't see I
Yes.
see a black box.
On the bottom.
Yeah, you are
Oh, okay. I think I found it. Sorry. Can
down
you
here.
give me dark vision? I'm wearing goggles.
Yep.
We're all. Yep. I think I have it. Nice.
There you go. There's some night vision.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Donnie, you kind of come around the turn, and there's a bunch of noise to the north. And unfortunately, there is some noise from your group, and they would see you over there. I need initiative rolls.
Yep.
So this particular area of the cave seems to have quite a few of these trolls. Several different
What are
types.
you doing, Theo? No, not there.
Bless you.
Go ahead and mark yourself as using your reaction.
Okay.
You vortex warp me again.
But the trolls begin to
Oops.
run towards you, growling.
First move, put Donnie in their mouth.
Alright, so the first to act, as this all happens, is Theo. What do you want to do?
I don't see them, but I hear the sounds coming from up that way, correct?
Yes.
Alright. Get to there and then cast Shadowlord Stride.
Alright.
Give me 20 more feet of movement.
You're flying right in there.
Yep, well, running in. And that would do 3 fire damage to the troll I just got next to.
Okay.
And I'm gonna punch it. Wait, let me double check. Shadowlord Stride, I think it's bonus action. Yes, bonus action.
Wait, why is this not working? Give me one moment. Looks like my script is being weird.
Got max on the initial damage with that one too. hell of a punch.
Alright, hopefully that fixed it. Alright, try that again. Yeah, looks like that fixed it. Alright, so you fly up to him, you burned him for how much?
3 damage,
Okay.
and then I punched him in the kneecap for... swing was a 30, not 20, and then hit 15 thunder damage.
Alright, so you punch him for another 15 as there's a loud crackle from thunder.
Follow that with second punch. 12 probably misses.
Yeah, he would dodge back from the second attack. Anything else?
That would be it for me.
Alright, so that's it for
And
you.
before we came in here, I have shield equipped, so it's 23 AC.
Okay, 23 AC, got it. Ivor.
Good question. Good question.
Probably call out I see 5.
All right. So, yeah, I think that's the move. We're gonna go with the hard and fast approach. I think move. I never remember. Is it difficult terrain to move through allies?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think. Is it through Baker?
5.
And she's small? I'm not sure.
Yes. Any, because it's not, you just have to slow down a bit, because like you have to move
Okay.
around the person.
With basically being small, is it still difficult?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's a.
She can
halfling-
maneuver easily,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we
it's
can't.
a halfling
Yep.
trait that I can.
5,
Yeah,
15, 20. And when we were walking in here, Betha, you told us that you had a count on tracks, right?
The trail we were following was 6, and she did share that.
Word. So 20 feet. And then there. Oh, maybe not quite. Oh. Not exactly everybody. But, still. I will point a finger and send a small mote of a little ember. Wait, hold on, let me check my range. I'm in range, right? Oh, yeah. For sure.
I love the giants just send us in here. You're quiet, and then boom, 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 boom.
Yep. Okay. Oh, that's right, it snaps too. We'll figure out what makes the most sense. That is not it. That's it.
Alright, so you send a fireball streaming towards those 6 trolls. As there is an explosion.
Ho, 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 ho.
Beautiful.
Which lights up the area for a moment.
Did we get to properly see for a second?
Love it.
More than 5. I was wrong.
So I need to saving throw for those guys. Let's say dex save. DC is 17. 49 damage. Half on save. Hides it in this one. Alright. So, there is a big explosion of fire as your fireball goes streaking in. There's a lot of angry roaring. None of them... Well, I guess you can't see very well. But, yeah. Anything else?
I can see. But
Some
none
of
of them
you
are
can see.
looking... Yeah, none of them are looking, like, shitty.
Wounded. No.
Okay.
Very angry, but not wounded.
Yeah. I would assume so. And then we will do Have I done any diagonals? I haven't. So we're gonna move 25, 30 feet. And I think I don't have. Yep. Don't have any more action economy, so that will be it for me.
Alright. The Venom Troll goes. He says in Giant, they have fire. I'll eat his hands so he can't cast again. He's gonna run over this way. Then he's going to double move. He sees Theo now, clearly. So he's gonna get distracted. Instead of being the caster, he's gonna rush up to Theo, ending his turn. The troll here is going to rush down this way. 25, 35. He can't get past his guys, so he's gonna keep moving down here to Donnie. Double move ends his turn. Next is the troll up north. He is actually gonna run up this way.
Fuck, of course he is.
Run out of sight. You don't know where he went. And you hear a lot of roars in the cave now, as it sounds like everyone heard the booming from the thunder and the fire.
Yep. By the way, just in case it matters, we can see your arrows right now.
Yeah.
It's me.
Okay. No, not the blues. We saw the troll path.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, there's no real way to hide that, although you'd kind of hear him moving around back there anyway.
Oh,
I
I'll
saw
just
him run to there and then.
I'll just suspend disbelief. That's easy.
Yeah.
Looking left far north.
I could not use Q, it just makes it harder to measure that.
Yeah.
Alright, so this guy here. Yeah, he actually is not too into running. Well, no, he's just gonna do it. He runs over this way. Getting up to Donnie again, double move.
Did he go within 5? Okay.
No,
He
he
can't
ran
get that
out.
close.
He ran out this
Yeah.
way. Next up is Zalia.
I am going to cast Thickening Radiant.
Okay.
I will cast it at level 5 and I will exempt my friends.
Okay, go ahead and place it. You can exempt how many people?
At level 5 I can exempt 7, I believe. Let me just double check that.
Okay, so that would be everyone in Nettle.
6. Yeah, so I won't exempt Nettle, but Nettle won't go in it. So.
Okay.
Tinder exempt?
Nope.
No. Not that fucker.
He's not fucking going in it.
Alright, hold on.
Donnie just grabs him off his shoulder, punts him into there.
Alright, just checking the radius.
That's fine. Right there. Alright, so you begin concentrating as a bunch of radiation springs forth in the area.
That makes dim light too, right? Or no light?
I think it does, actually.
Yeah.
Do you want to link the spell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dim light and 5-foot radius.
I shouldn't have rolled that because we roll it when they get affected.
Yeah, it's okay. I knew what you're doing. Alright, so that's it for you, Donnie.
Go ahead and rage.
Cast it 5th level, by the way.
And
then I think I'm gonna go ahead and hit the smaller one next to me. Try to take down the weakling first.
All right, so you lunge at him with your battle axe.
See if want to taste some troll blood.
Oh yeah, 30 would definitely strike.
So I'm gonna cross around to here too.
Not allowing me to click on it today for some reason, so we'll just roll it in here.
14.
Plus some divine fury.
Alright, so he takes a total of 23 damage and looks wounded. Oh.
Nice.
See if we can't finish him off. Pretty good swing as well. 28?
Yep, 28 would strike.
That time it allowed me to click. Oh, it would have missed the, sorry, it would have missed the, +3 of rage damage on the first one, because it didn't allow me to do the click.
So +7 is your strength, and the +3, and then another +3 for rage damage. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
That's what I was saying. Yep.
Alright, so you do 14 more damage, which would actually drop him.
Sweet.
Oh, nice. There. Nice. Cool.
Well, it's the weakling, that's why I wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, it's a regular troll.
Pretty easier to handle. I don't know if he got fired. Donnie would say out loud, "I'm not sure if that one got fired. Maybe somebody make sure he not come back."
You're fired. Alright, the troll goes. This one up here, which would have to make a con save, right?
Yep.
Okay.
17?
So it attempts to resist the radiation. It would fail, so go ahead and give me a damage roll.
And it has a level of exhaustion.
Yep.
Okay, so 5th level. It isn't showing up on my 5th level spells, but.
So 34 would be a nasty hit, and it is looking wounded. It's going to not regenerate because it got fireballed.
Starts looking like one of the necrotic ones.
And it's going to run off this way because it does not want to run through that. That's it for that one. Betha.
Well, I will move up behind Donnie to get a better view. If I reach into my pocket for my ring, would it be an item interaction for it to slip onto my finger, or would I have to use an action for that?
To put on a ring, unless it's specifically states it would be an item interaction.
Okay. So not an action. Okay. All right. Then yeah. So she'll pull out her continual flame ring just to give us some extra light.
Okay.
And put that on her finger as interaction.
All right.
And then
we are over time a bit. Are you okay with finishing the round? Because I know you usually have to go earlier, Gray.
I mean, we're almost done with the round now anyway, so if we could just hurry it up and get done with the round, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Nice.
So you get your ring out, Betha. Anything else?
yeah. Oh yeah. That was item interaction. So everything else. I will use as my action. I'm going to cast Flaming Spear. And so that's going to be. I've not used this one before. Okay, so it's just a 5 foot, I guess.
So
right?
I was gonna say, since we're just kind of starting Betha's turn, we could just, since Gray probably wants to get going, we could just do the rest of it next time because we still got 4 turns left to go. Right?
Yep.
So why don't we do MVP votes and end here, and we'll have Betha take her turn next time. We can just say she took the ring out. It's fine. And I'll
Sorry.
We'll-
Yeah, this.
Yeah, no,
this
it's no problem. I mean, we
We're
wanna-
over, yeah.
yeah, we're
Cool.
over.
This is the fourth or fifth time in 2 weeks, Lou, that we have ended a combat with me going first when we come back. That we've ended
Yep.
mid-combat and my
Better
character
get ready. Because you're gonna come back next week and be like, "What do you mean it's my turn?" And I'll be like, "Haha, gotcha."
I don't remember what I was doing.
Alright, I got 2 votes. Uh, 3, 4, and 1 more. Oh, there's a tie between Donnie and Ivor. So roll off.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for. No, I'm kidding.
Let's see. Ah!
Hey!
Alright,
there you go.
Ivor, you're
Congrats.
MVP. Congrats. Good job, everyone. Hopefully,
Thank you all.
Yeah, well done.
Good session, folks. But yeah, I do need to crash. So have a nice evening.
We'll fight
Take it
the
easy, dude.
troll horde next time.
Yeah, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
No.
I gotta take some notes.
Take some notes. Great. If you're still there, I was just gonna say that was some fucking phenomenal RP in the bar. That was really fucking cool, and also I loved that it was like beyond the scope of RP. It was like highly investigative. Like ended up asking some really fucking good questions while you were hanging out with the Chads. That was fucking cool.
Is Gray still here? I thought he just took off right away.
I thought he was
he's
too,
still
but
there.
he's still in the Discord, so that's why I was chatting at him. But
Oh.
maybe he might be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's stuck
Alright.
there.
Peace.